wants it. That's the first thing. Is he going to be the guy that we're looking at this year to get after it and take a bigger role? Maybe. But we still got Freddie in here. I think he's got something to prove. So I think we're going to have a good battle in the net.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs game night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Leafs against the Red Wings, the Hall of Fame game. And as mentioned earlier, the festivities will crank up just after 7, and we'll take you to Mike Ross, the PA announcer, and you can listen in. It's always a great ceremony. Coach's comment brought to you by Honda. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Coach Berube running into old acquaintances during the Hockey Hall of Fame game.
Definitely, I try to run into a couple guys that I know personally. David Poyle obviously was my general manager for quite some time in Washington. Was really close with him, and he was really good to me. And Jeremy Roenick, I played with, and had a few run-ins and stuff over the years, and played some golf with JR. So it's a great honor for all of them going in. It's a special night. Cole and Campbell I know very well, and and I look forward to Coley and talking to Coley all the time and seeing what's going on. And he loves to chat too. So I'm very happy for all of them.
What's your best Roenick story?
Well, he sucker punched me in a little bit skirmish one time. The refs had me, so I never got the opportunity to really get him back in a game. Still time, though.
You ever apologize?
Oh, we're good. We're friends. It's like, yeah. I was coaching the Phantoms, and he was playing for the Flyers, and I went down there and messed around with him one time. Got him a little nervous. I reminded him what happened.
What do you like about Riley's game here of late? Obviously, the offense is starting to come. What are you seeing?
Well, I think more than anything, it's making good decisions with the puck, and doing a good job in our own zone, D zone, checking well, and being hard at our net and things like that. But just taking the risk out of his game, I guess, with the puck and making real good decisions with it.
What do you like about the identity of the fourth line you're starting to put together? He was saying that he's going to a heavy team. That's Lawrence talking about. Heavy team last year, heavy team this year. That's helped him. How have you seen their chemistry work? Yeah,
I think they've been very effective. They're physical, and they're getting in there on the forward check, and they're really doing a good job of creating energy for our team with that. Lorenz and Cav are killing, and they're doing a real good job with that. And, Ryan Reeves, he's just, he's out there, and people know he's out there. He's a big man, and he's skating well, and he's getting in on the forward check. And, that's that's what we need from them. That rubs off on the rest of the team, how we want to play. They've been out there against real good players at times, top lines, that we need to use them in certain situations, and they've done a good job with that.
So what would it be like to be part of your first Hall of Fame game here as a member of the Leafs?
That is Craig Berube getting set for tonight's game against Detroit. The NHL players that are going in, Shea Weber, Pavel Datsyuk, and Jeremy Roenick. These are three really star and I guess unique hockey players, aren't they?
Yes, they are all legends, and again, not pointing any fingers, but I believe Roenick should have been in a long time ago, and he's done a great job, obviously, as a player and growing the game as well, too. And I played with Shea Weber, and believe it or not, he was a second rounder. I went higher than him, I think, by 20 picks. What were they thinking? But for me, I think the best story is Pavel Datsyuk, just how great he was and talented he was on both ends of the puck. He was one of the best at back pressure, and quick story was he dangled me so bad between my legs, I think 2-3 times, and he didn't even score, but it was still one of the plays of the night on SportsCenter. So do not go check that up on the.
Just a minute. I'll keep talking. Just a minute.
Don't
look
look
at
it
that.
up. Oh yeah, I look like I was Bambi on the ice. I think I broke my ankles on top of that too. But just a tremendous talent. Very underrated, I think. I don't think he's really got the flowers he has as a player during his career, because there are so many spectacular players playing for Detroit over the years. But he, from what I've seen, probably one of the most talented players I've seen up front. And I think it was my first game in the NHL, first 3 or 4 games within the NHL was playing against the Red Wings. That and another time were the two only times where I did not feel I belonged on the ice playing against the Red Wings, and both times Datsyuk was there for most times. Both times.
And as he broke in, it was a pretty good team that he broke in on. He was third, fourth line center, and there for defensive purposes.
Yes, and you saw the tremendous talent that they've had throughout the years and the long playoff runs that they've gone. But that is the key to his success. And yes, he put up a lot of points, but just that two-way, proper angles, but just his confidence with the puck and just his dangles. And it wasn't just the toe drags. It's just like he'd put it into an area, use his body. He wasn't the biggest guy, and he just sort of bump you off the puck and go and get it. So I'm telling you, I played with the Eric Stahls and the Kovalchuks and Olli Jokinens, and I've seen some tremendous players over the years, but he is a top 5 natural talent, 100%.
Wow. So here is Morgan Riley on memories of playing against Datsyuk.
That jumps out is Randy Carlyle aggressively trying to keep me off the ice when he was on the ice. My first season, and I was fine with it. It was a little demoralizing though, but he's an incredible player, and one of those guys that everyone idolizes and how he plays. So he was a special player.
Well, even now you watch some of the things you did on YouTube. Morgan and players still aren't doing this stuff.
Yeah. No, he was incredible, and you could talk about it all day. His strength on the puck, his defensive ability, and all that stuff. But just a really special player.
Aggressively try to keep you off? Were there any
no, just like
where you had to jump off?
Oh yeah, just like calling me off the ice, which again I understand, but a bit demoralizing in the moment.
Well, I must have felt a little okay coming from a former NHL defenseman too.
Yeah. No, I think that's just the way of a young defenseman playing against a future Hall of Famer, I think.
Have you had much of a chance over the years to spend much time in the Hall, Morgan, and give a good look?
Not in recent years, but I've been there many times. It's a very special place, and playing here in Toronto, that's just one of the things that we're tied to it in a way, and we're very lucky for that.
The record you guys have been able to put together when Austin has missed games is really good. It's kind of strange. Like, what do you notice about the team and how you guys come together when he is out?
Makes me feel a bit better because I know the record when I'm out is pretty good too. So I think it's just a matter of guys trying to take on more responsibility. And I mean, you realize that you're at a loss and without him, and guys have to step up and you have to pull more weight. And so the goal will always be to have that mentality when everyone's healthy and playing. But when you lose a player and an extremely important player like him, you need more out of everyone. And I think, when you're able to achieve that, guys, you're able to kind of come together as a team in a way, and, guys take on more responsibility and play well. And, we were lucky enough to get a result that we liked the last time out, so we'll see if we can do it again.
Morgan Riley, talking about many subjects. Let's go back to what he just mentioned there. Sometimes when somebody's out of the lineup, it gets everybody's attention. Well, it should, that you have to do more, which is always the request anyway, right?
It does, and it's the competition factor, right? Where you want to show your coach that, hey, you know what? Maybe I deserve to be on the power play one. Maybe I deserve to be bumped up the lineup and get, go from 18 minutes to 20 minutes, right? And again, overall, that competition, it just breeds that excellence, and it breeds a little bit more accountability, but more urgency. So I talked about on the top of the show that, yes, this team is doing a little bit better without Austin Matthews, but he is, the star player of the team. And if this team is going to win a Stanley Cup, he has to be a key cog, a key contributor for this group.
It's interesting, the power play works, 4-0 over Boston, and a day off and then back to practice and then back-to-backs, Montreal, Detroit here, and Ottawa next week. I mean, this is sort of taking care of your own business, isn't it?
Exactly. They control their destiny right now. And, it's funny. They're sitting, second in the conference, in the division right now. And, 2 weeks ago, we're talking about the sky falling and, what's going on here in Leafland. But it's funny, just the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of the season. There's peaks and valleys. But the one thing I can say is the constant is the hard work, the consistency, and sort of the messaging towards everybody. So Stolarz is doing great. We're talking about 4 or 5D contributing on a nightly basis. You're getting depth scoring, and your stars are showing up at key moments. So on the tail of the Maple Leafs, I think the missing cog right now is that third line. But if that being one of the only main issues of the season, they're in really, really good shape so far through 14 games.
Okay, but one more piece of sound. This is Tanev on the complete game against Boston on Tuesday night.
Just playing a team game and playing how we want to play. Smart, simple, hard. As a unit, as a team, right? I think that's what we've been growing towards as the season has gone on here. So I mean, we've had some really good games, a couple games we haven't but for the most part, we've grown as a team and sort of saw that against Boston the other night, and now it's up to us to be able to duplicate that effort.
What have you liked about what you've seen from Morgan Rielly here of late?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, Mo's an amazing player, so great shot, great skater, and he's finding lanes and getting pucks to the net. So I mean, we all knew that's going to come, and then the power play was going to score at some point. So I mean, it's too much talent, too smart of players, and those guys broke through for us in a big way last game.
What do you like about the morning skate? It feels like the veterans kind of go out there. What do you get out of it?
I just like going out there and feeling the puck. And I think when I was, a bit mid-20s, maybe late 20s, I didn't go out as much. And then you sort of get out, and it's fun to be out there and touch the puck and get going. So, I mean, I love it.
We saw you kind of knocking the pucks there out of the mid-air at the end. Is that something that you think I'm going to work on when I go out there? Like, do you pick 1 or 2 things a day?
I got a little routine that I do. So I mean, if you watch, I'm probably doing the same thing after every skate. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry if you didn't ask this, but do you get up a little bit more for Red Wings games since you were such a fan growing up?
I don't know. I feel like I'm up for every game. It's part of the job. But I mean, obviously tonight with the Hall of Fame game and a lot of great players here, it's pretty special. So I mean, I think guys will be excited and ready to go. And as a team, we're just trying to build off our game last game and keep improving.
Yeah, that's it, right? It was so good on Tuesday night, and you want to continue that on, and you do that by taking care of your own business, too.
You do, and it's, you talk about the confidence aspect of it, and it just comes from the work that you're putting in daily. And this team right now is sitting, from the metrics defensively amongst the top, third in the league. So there's essentially implementing a new system and a new structure, and it's going to take some time. And again, to seeing some of the guys not have their underlining numbers be really effective, once this thing is a finished product, I think you're going to see a lot more 4 or 5 game winning streaks. So yes, they've been a little bit fragmented with their consistency in winning games, but again, they're going to win a lot more games than not if they continue just to play that simplistic, heavy style game that some guys are thriving so far early in the season.
So it's the Hall of Fame game. Detroit is in town. This is their 13th game. They're 6-5-1, 13 points, 3-3-1 on, actually 3-2 on the road, coming off a 4-1 win over Chicago in Chicago the other night. And the Leafs, of course, 4-0 over Boston here on Tuesday night. And the Leafs sit at 7-5-2, 16 points, 5-2-0 on home ice. We'll set up the opening faceoff for you next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick.
What's up, Insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Red Wings, a Friday night special. What's the good part about that? We get to do it again tomorrow night, Saturday night, our favorite night of the week. Hockey night in Canada. Back-to-back Leafs. But tonight, it's the Red Wings. We got to take out Detroit. Cheers to two resident Detroit fans that have been hanging out here on TSI for a very long time, Klomp as well as Shroom. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Now, please make sure you've hit that like button down below, and then please share the link so we can get more people like Klomp and Shroom here in the chat, having a good time, hanging out with us, making a difference in the real world. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's beat the Red Wings. Let's keep it rolling.
Wise. You can send money internationally without hidden fees. From dollars to dong, pounds to pesos, euros to yen. You could save up to 3 times compared to major banks. Send money with Wise in more than 40 currencies without getting ripped off. See how much you could save. Download the Wise app today. Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
The world is changing, and Upskills for Work Get Started resources can help you adapt, learn new skills, and build confidence. Get Started is free and easy to use. Improve your skills for work and life. Get started today at upskillsforwork.ca.
The Government of Canada settled a class action lawsuit for $817 million concerning disability pensions for qualifying veterans, RCMP members, their estates, or relatives. To find out if you're eligible, visit veteransclaim.ca.
But it didn't seem to matter Tuesday night. The power play is back. Will that continue tonight? And what does Stolarz do for an encore? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Oh, yes, they do. Welcome to Scotiabank Arena. It's Hockey Hall of Fame night. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Joe Bowen and Jimmy Rouse standing by. The Leafs lineup tonight will be Domi between Marner and Nyes, Tavares between Nylander and Pacioretty, Holmberg centering Robertson and McMahon, Cam centering Reeves and Lorentz on the blue line, Morgan Riley, Oliver Ekman Larson, McCabe, Tanev, Benoit, Timmins. Stolarz starts in goal coming off a shutout. And we should tell you that Matthews was put on the injured list retroactive to November 3rd, so that's going to last a week, which means Monday morning there's going to be an adjustment made. Connor Dewar recalled, took the opening skate or the pregame skate, but will not play tonight. Look for him tomorrow night. Stu, what do you make of all that?
I think it's going to be a decent matchup right now against this Red Wings team, and I think it's going to become a matchup, obviously, of the power play and specialty teams battle. And the key, I think, to the Maple Leafs last game is they kept momentum. They had that first power play on the Riley goal, then a minute and a half later they scored another one. So that now put that game out of reach. So capitalizing at key moments, but managing the pucks, playing a good, safe game. And for me, I could see a bottom 6 battle, and they have some big bodies in Rasmussen and Bergen. So matching their intensity and physicality, keeping in mind Tarasenko and Patrick Kane take their time and space away, and Stolarz continuing to do what he does, just being in front of the puck, that's the key for the Maple Leafs.
In a couple of minutes, we'll send you to Mike Ross, the PA announcer. He'll take you through the Hockey Hall of Fame ceremonies. But when you're talking about those 2 power play goals, I want to take you back to in the first period, Pacioretty hit on Peak, and then it was Tanev with another hit in his own zone. Those are supportive plays, aren't they?
Yes, and it starts in your own zone, and we talked about the Maple Leafs sometimes struggling on getting on their entries, and it starts with some big hits. And Pacioretty, he didn't really hit the score sheet, but he did have 5 shots on goal, so they're getting it done by committee, and that's one of the keys, just having your specialty teams be special, but you don't want to be in the penalty box against this Detroit Red Wing team. They have some talent. They were 6 for 6 Toronto last game in killing all those penalties, but again, just continue keeping up with the momentum, and if that power play starts clicking, you're going to see a lot more wins coming in short order here.
When you go back to the weekend, obviously a loss in St. Louis, won in overtime in Minnesota, but there were a lot of good things that happened there.
Yeah, I believe both games are winnable games. But again, sometimes it's just capitalizing on the momentum. And for me, I think the power play really let them down. So I wonder if they had that momentum with that power play, those games, what the results would have been. But what I noticed, they looked a little bit tired in that back-to-back there. So again, I could see all 4 lines rolling tonight. I could see that third line getting involved. That's a key for me, getting them involved and getting them some confidence, especially with Matthews being out.
And big Stolarz in goal again, coming off the shutout, looking for another fine performance from him.
Yeah, and he's been consistently consistent with this, probably one of the best compliments you can give a goaltender, and he's just playing big. And I saw him in the hallway walking in, and he looked bigger than the doorway there too. So he's playing some great hockey. And again, I'm really not worried, but I'm just saying he's a 28 games career high. When we get closer to that 28-game mark, what's going to happen with him? But so far, he's been spectacular, amongst the top goaltenders in the league in every metric so far early in the season.
He's so big he dresses in the Raptors room.
Yeah. I was trying to think of who he reminds me of on the Raptors, but I'm not really well-versed guy. I got to work on my basketball.
Okay, let's go over to Mike Ross, and we'll pick up the Hockey Hall of Fame introductions. All the players that are starting, by the way, are on folding chairs, and there's that the normal blue carpet that leads to center ice. So, Rossi will take it from here.
Fans, welcome to the annual Hockey Hall of Fame game. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs are thrilled to host honored members of the Hockey Hall of Fame and welcome for the first time the 2024 induction class. We now welcome our Hockey Hall of Fame honored members. A 500 goal scorer and 5-time NHL All-Star, Pierre Turgeon. A member of the IIHF Hall of Fame, Canada's Sports Hall of Fame, and one of the first women named to the Hockey Hall of Fame, Angela James. A 6-time NHL All-Star and named one of the NHL's 100 greatest players of all time, Peter Stastny. An Olympic champion, a 7-time world champion, and one of the first women inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, Geraldine Heaney. A 4-time Stanley Cup champion and the 5th highest scoring defenseman in NHL history, Larry Murphy. The only player in NHL history to score 10 points in a single game, Daryl Sittler. A 2-time Vezina Trophy winner, Olympic gold medalist, and Stanley Cup champion, Ed Belfour. He scored 708 NHL goals and is the incoming chairman of the Hockey Hall of Fame, Mike Gartner. A 500-goal scorer, Stanley Cup champion, and chairman of the Hockey Hall of Fame, Lenny McDonald. And now, the 2024 Hockey Hall of Fame induction class. A native of London, Ontario, he grew up playing hockey in Tillsonburg before heading to Peterborough to play Junior A for the Petes. He would play 3 seasons in junior before being drafted by both the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL and the Vancouver Blazers of the WHA. He played 11 seasons of pro hockey, including 5 in the NHL, before turning to coaching as an assistant in Detroit, then with the Rangers, where he won the Stanley Cup in 1994. In 1998, he left coaching and joined the NHL head office as the Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations. He was a pioneer in creating a centralized video review location called the Situation Room, in which NHL hockey operations could follow every game at once, which is now a mainstay in most professional sports leagues. a member of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for almost 15 years, now an inductee in the Builders category. Please welcome Colin Campbell. The son of longtime player and executive Bud Poile, he followed in his father's footsteps, beginning his front office career with the Atlanta and Calgary Flames before moving on to Washington and finally Nashville in 1997. As general manager of the expansion Predators, he helped build hockey from the ground up in Nashville and Greater Tennessee and led them to a Stanley Cup final appearance in 2017, when he was also named the NHL GM of the Year. The following season, he became the winningest general manager in NHL history with 1,320 wins and the only GM to manage two clubs for over 1,000 games and 500 wins. Inducted into the United States Hockey Hall of Fame in 2018, and now the Hockey Hall of Fame in the Builders category, David Poile. Growing up playing boys minor hockey in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, she was dominant from an early age. After overcoming injuries throughout high school, she led her Park Center Pirates team to a Minnesota State Championship in 1999-2000. After two astonishing seasons playing high school hockey and being named the best female high school hockey player in Minnesota, she committed to the University of Minnesota. In her 3 seasons as a Golden Gopher, she led her team to back-to-back national championships while capturing the WCH Player of the Year and the Patty Kazmaier Award as the top female player in college hockey. Her time representing the United States on the international stage was just as impressive. In 147 games, she recorded 106 goals and 247 points, en route to collecting 5 silver medals and 1 gold medal during the IIHF Women's World Championships. She won a silver medal in 2002 at the Winter Olympics, and after being named team captain in 2006, she led her team to the bronze medal. An inductee in the Hockey Hall of Fame Players category. Please welcome Chrissy Wendell. Born in Boston, Massachusetts, he was known for his fearless and rugged on-ice style, but also had scoring talent, as he collected 300 points in 75 games, en route to back-to-back Bantam championships for the New Jersey Rockets. In 1988, he was drafted out of high school by the Hull Olympique in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and was also taken in the first round of the NHL draft by the Chicago Blackhawks in the same year. After being named a QMJHL second-team All-Star that season, he was called up to the Blackhawks for the playoffs and would remain in the National Hockey League for the rest of his career, which spanned 20 seasons with 5 different teams. The 9-time NHL All-Star scored 513 goals with 703 assists for a total of 1,216 career points. He currently sits 4th all-time in goals and 5th all-time in career points by an American-born player. An inductee to the Hockey Hall of Fame in the player category. Please welcome Jeremy Roenick. Born in the state of hockey, she grew up in Eagan, Minnesota, and was on the ice at 5 years old. Blossoming into a superstar in her teenage years, she amassed over 400 points at the high school level, earning her a scholarship to the University of Minnesota. Her remarkable career continued with the Golden Gophers, winning 2 NCAA championships. She was named a first-team NCAA All-American and 3-time finalist for the Patty Kazmaier Award. After an illustrious college career, she moved on to the U.S. national team, winning hardware on several occasions, including silver medals at the 2002 and 2010 Winter Olympics and gold at the Women's World Championships in 2005, 2008, and 2009. In 2023, she continued her trailblazing journey as one of the inaugural 6 general managers of the Professional Women's Hockey League. And under her leadership, PWHL Minnesota became the league's first ever Walter Cup champions. Inducted into the IIHF Hall of Fame earlier this year. And now the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Natalie Darwitz. One of the NHL's most powerful shooters and outstanding leaders. He was born in British Columbia and went on to star with the Kelowna Rockets for 4 seasons, winning 2 WHL championships and a Memorial Cup title. He was drafted by the Nashville Predators in 2003, making his debut in 2006. He went on to play 11 seasons with the Predators, captaining the team for 6 seasons. He was twice runner-up for the James Norris Memorial Trophy and won the Marc Messier Leadership Award in 2016. He was traded to the Montreal Canadiens in the summer of 2016, bringing his stellar defensive skills and leadership to Montreal, where he captained the team for 3 seasons and led them to a Stanley Cup final in 2021. He played in 7 NHL All-Star games, winning the hardest shot competition 4 times. He was also a stalwart defender for Team Canada, winning gold at the IIHF World Junior Championships in 2005 and gold at the 2010 and 2014 Winter Olympics. Entering the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Shea Weber. Affectionately known as the Magic Man, his almost mythical skating and stick handling ability made him one of the most electrifying players in hockey. The epitome of a hidden gem, he was selected by the Detroit Red Wings in the 7th round of the 1998 NHL entry draft. He joined the Red Wings in the 2001-2002 season, winning the Stanley Cup in his rookie year. He would go on to spend 14 seasons with the Wings, winning the Frank J. Selke Trophy 3 times as the league's best defensive forward, along with the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy 4 times for gentlemanly conduct. He retired from the NHL in 2016, returning home to Russia and winning the Gagarin Cup with SKA St. Petersburg in 2017. Internationally, he's a member of the iconic Triple Gold Club, winning the World Hockey Championship in 2012, a gold medal at the Winter Olympics in 2018, and the Stanley Cup in 2002 and 2008. Named one of the NHL's 100 greatest players of all time, and now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Pavel Datsyuk. We now ask that Dylan Larkin, captain of the Detroit Red Wings, and Mitch Marner, alternate captain of your Toronto Maple Leafs, join the 2024 induction class at center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop.
And there it is, the ceremonial face-off, the introductions. What a great night this is going to be, and off to a great start. And that means there's only one thing left. The opening face-off is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray.
Barkley beats one man, spins past another, leaps over a third. What was that?
I wonder if you saw the Saquon Barkley reverse jump.
Everyone knows he's a freaky athlete. I've never seen anything like that, I'm not going to lie. It's like the greatest 15-yard run I've ever seen in my life.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up... Hey, insiders and hockey fans all over the world. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Now's the time. Let us know where Leafs Nation is gathering tonight. Where are you watching from? Here on TSI, hanging out together. Let us know. Put your flag out in the chat if you can. City and province, city and state. Let's see. Are you downtown Toronto? right next to Scotiabank Arena where the game's being played, out in Lake Country, Northern Ontario, out west in Canada, or in the United States or around the world. Like me, displaced fan. You know what I'm saying? Here we are, hanging out together. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go.
Who cares? Worry about your own team. Don't worry about mine.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91.
And on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Michael Bunting of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You've always had the great ability to play with great players.
I think my style of play complements the top dogs, as you will, like kind of go to those harder areas in the corner in front of the net and kind of create space for them and get them the puck and, help them create offense off of that. So kind of found a little niche with that.
NHL Morning Skate
With Scott Laughlin and Gord Stolarz.
weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
From in the crease
to in the locker room.
Flyers defenseman Travis Sanheim.
Is it a rebuild type thing? Is it definitely a playoff team in your mind?
I think last season, I don't know if anyone in our room was saying rebuild. We thought that we could surprise some teams, and I think we did that. A lot of guys that are coming back, and then obviously adding Meat Scott's going to be huge. So, we're looking forward to getting started and seeing if we can build off of last season.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91.
And on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore.
Kochetkov making that jump last year. What do you see in the net?
The kid wants it. That's the first thing. Is he going to be the guy that we're looking at this year to get after it and take a bigger role? Maybe. But we still got Freddie in here. I think he's got something to prove. So I think we're going to have a good battle in the net.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings collide for the first time in 4 meetings this season. They played 3 times last year, going 1-1-1. And this is Hall of Fame night, as you were well aware after having all of the new inductees fetted out at center ice. It's always a very special night, a very special weekend. And the activities get going with the Foster Hewitt Award and others on Monday afternoon, and then the actual Hall of Fame induction on Monday night.
Yeah, so you've gone through it.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to, I believe we came back from Boston. We're able to enjoy that lunch with you. Dan Rosanowski of the San Jose Sharks, the Foster Hewitt Award winner this year. What I love as much as anything is the people that have come through the press box tonight. Doug Armstrong, Steve Yzerman are in town. Obviously, Steve Yzerman with the Red Wings, but you see a lot of guys. You talked to Eddie Belfour a little earlier.
Nice chat with Eddie Belfour. He's moved from Dallas up to Missouri and is enjoying that, and had a nice chat with him. Talked with Lanny McDonald as well, and he is 100% health-wise, and that was quite a scare that he had. Starting lineup is brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Leafs will start the line of Nyes along with Marner and Domi to start, and down to our right is Stoli the goalie. Stoli the goalie. I got it.
Rolly Melanson was Rolly the goalie.
I know, but Stoli the goalie.
I'm aware of the slight difference.
Yeah, oh, good. All right, well, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, Anthony Stolarz, who has been absolutely terrific, 5-2-2, 2.12, and a 9.28 save percentage. Cam Talbot has been on fire for the Red Wings, 4-1-1, 2.45, and a 9.29 save percentage. And Stolarz has been really good against Detroit.
Yeah. Yes. has yet to give up. He had a shutout in preseason as well, did he not?
Yeah.
At the Leafs, but his only start was against the Red Wings previously was a shutout. So perfect record coming in.
Face-off brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan. Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. As the teams are at center ice, and we are underway as the puck is dropped. And it'll be pushed down into the Leaf zone and punched out by Tanev, and down into Detroit territory it goes. Backhanded around the boards by Moritz Seider. Red Wings get it out, but it bounces over Kane's stick. Sliding down in on goal. Clearing it away was Stolarz, and it's launched out at center ice, where a bouncing puck is finally corralled by the Red Wings and brought in by Alex DeBrincat. Drop pass and a long shot off the chest of Stolarz, and the Leafs have the rebound under control and play it out at center ice. Seider bringing it right back in again. Taken by Tanev around back of the net. Trying to extricate his stick from the checking. Backhanded by Domi to center, and the Red Wings are back at their own blue line, organizing as both teams get their first change in, with just about a minute played here in the first period. Chipped by Raymond, and then brought on by Seider. He'll backhand in and then go to the bench. Leafs playing it off the boards for Tavares. Tavares against the wall, got it ahead, and out on the left wing it comes now for Morgan Rielly. Back on the right side for Pacioretty. It goes around back of the net, cleared to the near side. A long shot by Rielly went well wide of the net. Sharp angle try then by Nylander, deflects up into the screen, out of play. Willie Nylander with 10 goals is second in the National Hockey League in scoring.
Yeah, and I think the reason it doesn't feel that way is it's been half the games that he's been able to get a point in. They've all been multi-point games, but you feel, he's lacked that consistency, and yet the totals don't lie.
Austin Matthews again out of the lineup and has been placed on injured reserve, and I'm led to believe that is more not so much the injury that he has, but a cap-related thing, because Connor Dewar is off that and is on the roster. In fact, took the opening warm-up, but is not in the lineup this evening. Played down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz plays it around the boards to the far side. Red Wings trying to keep the puck in and down into the corner, and then a drop pass comes back into the slot and a shot. And Stolarz is drilled there by Marco Kasper, coming across in front of the net. Stolarz is having a word with the official. Now back the other way, one-handed push to the net. In front, they score! Robertson! You better circle Bobby McMahon, because he has as much to do with this goal as anything.
Talk about a power forward move. Down the right wing boards, drives to the net on the backhand, loses the puck as it slides off the side of the net. But as McMahon catches up to it from the goal line to the left of Alex Lyon, he tucks it between his legs back out to the top of the crease, and Nick Robertson is there to simply snap it blocker side on Lyon to give the Leafs a 1-0 lead. Or pardon me, it's Cam Talbot.
Yep.
I've made notes that Lyon and Anthony Stolarz. Lyon took them to.
Now they're going to look at goalie interference maybe.
Think there was any contact. I was saying Alex Lyon is backing up tonight. Or pardon me, Ville Husso's backing up tonight. I did read this morning where Lyon was expected to get the start.
I thought that as well, and then noticed during the warm-up that it was not, in fact, but it is Cam Talbot, number 39.
Ville Husso's only appeared in one game so far. I don't know if I see any. Well, I guess they're going to say that there was contact made with McMahon's skate on the left pad of Talbot. But I don't think this, Joe, has anything to do with how the goal was scored.
Well, we're going to wait and see. Robertson would get his second goal of the season. McMahon would draw one assist. Boy, he was going past the net when there was. Yeah. I
So
think
this
is a good goal, to be honest with you. But
And he touches the puck. He has the puck on his stick really around the same time the contact is made with the left pad.
And here's the answer.
After reviewing the plays, determined there was goaltender interference. Therefore, we have no goal.
You know, you don't follow this sport very much, do you? How could you not have seen that? And here you are pontificating that it looked like a good goal.
You know, the worst thing is, I still think of that. I mean, there was contact made. But I don't think if there wasn't contact made that it would have anything to do with the result of the puck being put in the net. And for Nick Robertson, that would have been his second. And I'm sure he's saying, what else?
What else now? Yeah, exactly. Delayed offside.
Cam Talbot seemed to be the one that called it straight away, pointing to the referee.
Chris Lee and Ghislaine Hebert are the officials tonight. Bevan Mills and Derek Nansen, the linesman. So it's still 0-0. Cleared off the boards, and Reeves has bunted it the rest of the way down the ice, and an icing call coming here against the Maple Leafs.
Red Wings have gone through a few goalies over the last few years too, haven't they? That's a Billy Husso they got from the St. Louis Blues. Former Leafs, Jonathan Bernier, Peter Mrazek, James Reimer. They've all gone through Detroit.
I think the Leafs are now 1-1 as far as video review is concerned. The Wild had a goal called back. So I guess that's the way it is. A big scrum in the face-off circle with 4 players down, but puck comes free, and the Leafs are going to send it out at center ice. Red Wings are back there to recover and send an errant pass right on goal, and Stolarz had to make a save on that. Now the Leafs trying to get off the ice and make sure that there aren't too many people on the ice, and so far they have done that as Tanev gets away from one man, and the pass in on the left wing side, and it'll be sent in by McCabe. But did he? Yeah, he didn't do it quite from center ice. They're going to call this a icing call. It's coming back into the Toronto zone.
The Detroit Red Wings had an incredible run. We mentioned running into Steve Yzerman up here in the press box a little earlier. 25 consecutive playoff appearances for the Red Wings, but since then, and it coincided with Joe Louis Arena closing. That was the first year they missed the playoffs. They haven't made it since 8 years in a row.
In the new building.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a curse. Long lead pass, trying to spring Marner. Didn't connect, and that was it icing, and then Marner took his man down in the corner. That could have been a penalty. It's kicked along the boards, and now Nyes trying to center, has it picked off by the Red Wings, and it's played to the line and out into the center ice zone. Raymond hustling after it, but his numerical counterpart Nyes able to play the puck into the Detroit zone. Now the Red Wings. Raymond in on the right side. From a sharp angle, centering pass, bouncing puck's gone astray, knocked away by Nyes, and the Leafs break it out at center with Nylander. Nylander with a long shot, and Cam Talbot is down to cover up on that, and he will hold for a face-off coming in the Detroit zone. Red Wings with 3 shots, Leafs with 1.
Talk about Nick Robertson, what a goal might do to his legs and his confidence. Bobby McMahon has been on a 10-game goalless streak as well, just 1 assist in that point. And Max Domi might be at the top of my list as somebody you'd love to see get going.
Well, I'd like to see him shoot the puck more. Start with Nylander trying to shoot it. That was blocked. Nylander with the puck at the blue line, chipping it along the wall, and unable to get it deeper was Pacioretty. The Red Wings get it out at center, and it's cleared down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz out of the goal to get it ahead, and out comes Tavares. Tavares to the Red Wings blue line, thrown deep into the right wing corner. Red Wings get it ahead. Tarasenko trying to come out with it, and the Wings will play it up on the right wing where it's played down into the zone. And both teams trying to get a change started. Jake McCabe coming back the other way. McCabe to the red line and shoots it in. That took a strange bounce off the stanchion, but no one there to benefit from it. And the Red Wings get it out at center again, and Chris Tanev sends it right back into Detroit territory. Played along the boards on the far side. Johansson getting it out at center. Intercepted now by McCabe. He one-hands it down into Detroit territory. McMahon back on the end boards behind the Detroit goal. Couldn't come up with it. Neither could Robertson. And out at center ice come the Red Wings on the right side. Risher trying to get a shot in, and it's going to deflect up into the screen and go out of play with 14:58 to play in the first period. No score, the Wings and the Maple Leafs.
I think we always use this stat whenever the Leafs play the Detroit Red Wings, but I think it always shows you the success that the Red Wings had for the 25 years. Now you're trying to rebuild through the draft and everything else, but because they haven't been that horrible or fortunate of late to get a top 5 pick. The last time the Detroit Red Wings had a top 5 pick in the draft was Keith Primo. Wow. Isn't that incredible? 1990.
Played in by Marner into the zone. Domi in the far corner. Plays it around back of the net. Marner had his pocket picked there behind the goal by Rasmussen. And now the Wings get it up on the wing, and out they come. Pass ahead from DeBrincat. In on the left wing, and a good back check there by Marner to take it away. And it's pushed out at center, but just out of the reach of Domi. And the Wings go back with Seider going around back of the net. He reverses it into the corner, and Larkin will send a long lead pass, just almost springing DeBrincat, but it goes down into the corner harmlessly. Morgan Riley, the pass up at center. Nyes was knocked down on the play, brought in on the right side now by Compher, a shot. That deflects off of Stolarz, and up into the screen it goes and out of play. And the Wings have started with 4 shots on goal here to the Leafs 2. Still no score in the game as we're a second shy of 6 minutes play.
Might have caught a little bit of iron. It might have glanced off Stolarz and then crossbar and out now replay. Stolarz has been a great story. You know, there's other goalies around the league. And look at Charlie Lindgren in Washington. Another guy that started Montreal, went to St. Louis. You said, boy, you know, he's a good backup until he got a chance to be a number 1 guy.
Played back to the point to Hall. Long shot went wide of the net. Red Wings in the near corner. Banking it back. Justin Hall with another shot. Blockered away by Stolarz. And the Leafs get it ahead. And now Pacioretty will send it down into the zone. Round back of the net. Cleared away by the goalkeeper and up on the left wing. Nylander couldn't come up with it. And at center ice, Lucas Raymond in for Detroit. He stops up because his team is changing. Launches it high into the corner. And the Leafs quickly move it up on the left wing. And out comes Simon Benoit, who will play it down into Detroit territory. Leafs are getting their change in. Red Wings circle the goal and out they come. Petrie getting to center. Shot into the Leaf end, but it was blocked by the linesman, I think. Puck comes back at center. Rings get it back in, and now it's right back out in neutral ice. Cleared back in, and Stolarz is out of the goal to play it into the corner, and Riley finds his defense partner, and Reeves helps him get it out at center. A lot of play in the neutral zone here. Bouncing puck that Lorentz couldn't come up with. Now Morgan Riley turns. Saucers it ahead. Played in by David Camp, but the linesman says that was offside, as Reeves may have been in early on the right side. Commercial break. 12:40 to play, first period, no score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Up front tonight, the breaking news.
Get closer to what's happening right now with the Sirius XM news channels.
The images coming in of a large wildfire burning, evacuations underway.
From cable news to business.
And so the markets need to be prepared for that and the volatility.
And international.
Very large stockpiles of ammunition and advanced weapons because of its own preparations to defend
the Sirius XM news channels, starting at channel 112 and on the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The hockey fan that's hanging out with us, listening to the best call on the planet Earth, Joe Bowen's radio call. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Maple Leafs game this season. We're the home for Toronto sports. If it's a Toronto sports team, we're live. We are here on TSI, hanging out together, making a difference. Now let's get back to the hockey and let's have some fun. Let's beat the Red Wings tonight. And thank you so much to the 56,042 insiders that have hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Eastern. And it's on Sirius XM FC channel 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
No score, the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs. 3 straight home games against original 6 opponents. Yeah. And our good friend Stan has come up. I said, I know I never thought I could remember in my tenure, and I can. 1970. Apparently there were 4 in a row, and in the same order. So it went Boston, Detroit, Montreal, and Chicago came to Maple Leaf Gardens.
How would Stan, what baffles me about Stan, how would you even know how to look that up?
Don't know. Anyway, there's no one here who's going to argue with him.
No. Yeah, you mean he's right?
Maybe he's right, yeah.
That'd be the best part. He just made it up.
He just made it up. Yeah, these guys are too stupid to even look for it. What's the difference? Here's a chance now for McMahon, and a shot from a sharp angle is handled by Talbot. With the faceoff coming in the Detroit zone. Bobby McMahon's got a little jump to his step here tonight.
Yeah, like
goal that was called back. That was his driving to the net that provided with it. Another good chance here.
But that's what you like to see from him, though, right? Driving the net, using the big frame. Pretty decent speed for a big guy as well.
Red Wings win the faceoff. Gustafsson gets it out at center, and the Red Wings will backhand it with Joe Veleno getting it into the Leaf zone. Puck around back of the Toronto goal. Comes up on the right wing side. McMahon with a pass off a stick down into Detroit territory, and the Wings are back there to organize as the Leafs change. Domi coming over the boards with Nyes and Marner. Long lead pass is a delayed offside. Or at least Nyes turns with a pass to Domi. Dropping it back, and Nyes got a shot away, and then Marner with a pass in front, and still has it. Can't find an open man. Not Marner in the far corner. Back to the point. Shot deflects high into the left wing corner. Nyes banging in there and gets roughhoused a little bit there by the defenseman Raymond. Now back into the slot area, and Marner couldn't come up with it, and it's poked out at center ice by Detroit.
Well, you like watching from up here. As soon as the puck was turned over, Matthew Nyes bulldozes his way right to the front of the Red Wing net. I think he's found a little pot of gold there, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. A little bit of success proves the point, doesn't it? Here's Pacioretty with a centering pass. No one home. And out come the Red Wings. Sider gets it up on the left wing for Lucas Raymond. Raymond falls down as he tried to apply the brakes. Puck is kicked along the boards and then sent around back of the Toronto goal. Down the wall comes Justin Hall, the former Leaf, who was on waivers at one point for Detroit. And now the Red Wings have him entrenched as one of the starting 6 here tonight, as a centering pass goes off the stick and now deflects all the way out at center ice, forcing Hall back into his own zone. Right-handed defenseman Hall coming to the red line, got it in over the line for Raymond. His pass intercepted then by Timmins. His pass almost intercepted, but the Leafs get it out, and now it is played by Reeves into the offensive zone. Lorentz will apply some pressure but not come up with the puck. And the Red Wings up on the left wing for Berggren, who gets it out at center. In over the line, trying to work in was Vladimir Tarasenko. That was taken away, and now Reeves on the other side, unable to get it out, but now Camp will play it back of the net into the near corner for Benoit. Benoit's pass was blocked, but now it is pushed to center ice by Toronto. Pretty much an uneventful first half of the first period. Am I wrong? No. Other than the goal that was called back?
Other than when there wasn't a goal? Yeah.
Here the Wings backhanding it down into the Toronto end. Played to the side of the net and pushed up on the left wing now for Robertson. Robertson plays it high into the zone, and a bouncing puck in by McMahon was stopped. This line has been the Leafs' best to come over the boards. Knocked down, and a penalty coming here to Detroit. Robertson got knocked down as he was turning to get into a defensive posture. And an interference call is coming here, and it's a bit of a weak call.
I agree with you on that. Maybe it's a bit of an apology for taking the goal away from Robertson earlier.
They wouldn't be allowed to do that, would they?
No, not officially.
Oh. So, like, unofficially?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you learn something new every day. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Get the official NHL app to watch, read, and listen to.
What's up, Insiders? How we doing tonight? Thank you guys for hanging out with us. The Leafs, the Red Wings, the first period, the goal taken away. What the heck? It's all right. We got a power play coming up. It was a little bit of a weak call. I should probably turn this down because I feel like I'm screaming into the microphone. But great to see everybody in the chat. Andrew Hurd, Klomp, my man. Detroit, good to see you, man. You're going down tonight, though. I'm sorry. I'll cheer for the Tigers in the MLB playoffs and whatnot, but no. Leafs tonight getting it done. Roll 6 of 6. Dice, how you doing? David M, Ice X, Antonio Bastone, Stefan, Axeman, 87. How you doing, Axe? Mark Duffney, great to see you, man. Wilf in the chat as well. Ronald Wirch, Sandra Berube in the house. New Brunswick, I love it. We've got it. We've got them all. I'm pretty sure we've gotten every single province in Canada covered in every single Leafs game. So thank you all for being here. I got to change the names from all the support from last night, but new members here as well. We got Rick Smith. Thank you for joining, Rick. Much appreciated. And there's a new member as well, Darren Ellis. 99 cents a month, guys. You get the poppy emoji here. I'm going to send it out in the chat. Poppy emoji. I love it. Great idea, Rick Smith. And yes, guys, go get a poppy. Show your support for the veterans. We love the veterans here at TSI. All right, back to the hockey. We'll see you guys in a few minutes in the intermission. Go Leafs, go. Let's kick some Red Wings butt. Oh, yeah.
All-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today.
And the red hot power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 4 for 9. In their last two games, including 3 for 7 against the Boston Bruins. So 4 of their 8 power play goals have been very recent.
And the Red Wings penalty kill is 24th in the league. They've given up 11. They win the faceoff, and immediately it is shot out and down the ice by Detroit.
Time of the penalty, 10:48.
Morgan Riley starts out of his own zone. Comes to the red line. Drops the puck back. Marner will carry it through neutral ice and weave to the right wing side and in with a pass to Willie. Nylander to the net with a shot. Rebound, scores! Marner tidies up the garbage in front of the net. But the Leafs wasted a little time setting things up. Let's take it to the hoop. And they did for a 1-0 lead.
And Joe, very similar to the 3 they got against Boston. It's not the tic-tac-toe fancy passing plays that end up in the back of the net. It's get the puck to the goal. It was Nylander that drove to the net. And even though he lost control of the puck, it went to Mitch Marner, who got not 1 but 2 whacks at it and put it in his own rebound from the top of the crease to put the Leafs up 2-0, and for Marner that extends his point streak now to 7 games.
Well, sort of 2-0, but it's actually 1-0.
Did I say 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did score twice.
You did. Here's a loose puck in front of the net, and scooping it up is Cam Talbot. Maybe we'll just say 1.5.
Yeah. That's kind of like in golf. You mark down a score, but you put a little asterisk beside it.
Morgan Riley is going to pick up really a gift assist. He dropped the puck back to Marner, who carried it into the zone.
Yeah.
Gave it to Nylander. And
even technically, Willie lost the puck.
Yep.
But this one, not reviewed, like the Robertson one that was called back earlier in the period.
Leafs win the face-off. A shot by McCabe drifted wide on the far side. Red Wings playing it around the boards on the near wing. And Nyes couldn't get a block there to keep it in. And the Wings bring it into the Leafs zone with a shot that is Karen bouncing in front of the goal. Down is Stolarz, and he has got it swept up. That was a bit of a heart-stopping moment. The puck went high in the air and then came down about 4 or 5 feet in front of the crease, and no one seemed to know, A, where it was, B, what to do with it, and C, is Anthony Stolarz paying attention?
And I believe, was it not Patrick Kane was the one that finally was able to walk in. DeBrincat was the one that let it go. Took a couple of whacks at it. And yeah, Patrick Kane was the closest one to picking it up and shoveling it past Stolarz. But he never really got a handle on it either.
Draw one by Toronto, played by Ekman-Larsson high to center ice, grabbed off by Reeves and sent into the zone. Lorentz up against the boards, pushes it around to the near corner for Reeves. Reeves sending it back as they cycle the puck with David Kampf, getting it back along the boards, but the Rings break it up and will get it out at center and down into the Toronto end. Riley taking it away there from Raymond. Playing it back behind the goal for Ekman-Larsson. OEL getting it up on the near side, and it is Kampf sending a long shoot in on Talbot. He'll drop it off to his defense. The Wings will play it out into the center ice area. Pacioretty knocks his man down with a hit. Puck along the boards. Dug out by the Wings. A shot delivered by Tarasenko went wide of the goal. Played around back of the net. Kasper trying to come out with it as they cycle the puck. Back behind the goal, Tarasenko. Tarasenko working back towards the point, still with it. Being chased as it goes into the far half wall, then dropped for Tarasenko again. Sent around back of the net. Centering pass in front of the goal. Down is Stolarz, and he has it again.
Well, I mean, he's got the size to naturally take up a lot of the net. But the quickness of the feet and hands continue to impress. And here, he's out on the full butterfly, but he's got to kick that left pad out to take away the opportunity for Berggren and keep this a 1-0 Leaf lead. And these are saves that are all about battling. I mean, this isn't about squaring up and being set. I mean, this is
scrambles.
Yes, Jerry Cheevers once called it standard butterfly and panic.
And across the line for McMahon. His shot went off the side of the goal. The Red Wings start back now at center. 1-0 Toronto. Tanev breaks up a rush. Looks to outlet. Did, but it went off the heel of the stick of McMahon. Out into the center ice, and the Rings are back in their own zone organizing. Quick right wing feed. Risher in over the line with a pass into the slot that was out of the reach of its intended receiver. Veleno plays it around back of the net. Leafs trying to free it up, and they do, but they don't get it out. And now it is McCabe starting out of his own zone. McCabe to the red line, and in it goes, and wholesale changes for the Maple Leafs. 6:06 to play, first period, 1-0 Toronto. Glad you're along with us on Hall of Fame night at Scotiabank Arena. Linesman got knocked down, and he was slow getting up and is hunched over around the center ice area. The referee comes over to ask if he's all right. Now here's Nyes, backhand try. That was blocked in front of the net by Sherratt. At the point, a shot goes high and wide of the net. Nyes trying to send it front, and it was tipped away just at the last second from Marner. Wings push it out at center. DeBrincat in on the left wing, into the slot with the shot. Glove save, and a good one made there by Stolarz. And that is the 6th shot on goal for the Red Wings. The Leafs have 8 and 1. Well, 2 made it into the back of the net. 1 is counting. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Detroit Lions look as if they are the best football team in the NFC.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Saints' Dennis Allen has been relieved of his head coaching duties.
The expectations of every year, that franchise has pride.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Ravens running back Derrick Henry. You embrace every single challenge. One thing I love about this whole organization.
Nobody covers the game like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight and every single night these Leafs are on the ice. I am so appreciative of this community. We just passed 56,000 subscribers last night during the Raptors game. And now here we are tonight during the Leafs game. I recorded this in between because I had a day off. There wasn't a stream. Imagine that. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out with us and making this Toronto sports community what it is. We're on our road to 75,000. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell so you don't miss when we go live for every single Leafs game. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's get loud in the chat. Let's make some noise, insiders. Go Leafs, go. We're winning tonight.
As we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
I would think you'd be a great air guitar guy. They have the air guitar cam on the screen. I would think you'd be great at that.
Yeah, I've never done it publicly.
So you're big in the water, in the shower? Is that air guitar in the shower?
Very big, yes. Standing room only.
Oh, yeah. Well, you learn something new every day.
They say, no, never ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer.
Well, that's a good attorney.
Yeah.
Don't ask a question unless you know the answer. Here are the Wings trying to center. They do, and it went right through the goal crease. Back at the point, Sider into the slot area, and a Raymond shot went well wide of the goal. Tavares tried to one-hand it up the boards, but it comes around back of the net. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson will send it down to the blue line, and Tavares gets it now to Nylander. Nylander in the corner, looking for a man, sends it in front of the net. It'll come to the near side, a pass in front of the goal. Pacioretty trying to get to it. Oh, and he couldn't quite get his stick onto the puck before he was knocked down from behind.
Got stuck in his skates, and he was trying to draw his stick back between his legs to get something on it. By the time he finally got position, he had his feet taken out from under him.
Lorenz trying to play it out, had it hit the official, and the puck is back in the Toronto zone with 4:20 to play in the period. Christopher Tanev to center. He'll launch it down into Red Wing territory. Lorenz with a hit there on Johansson, but the Wings get it out at center. Reeves getting back to take it away from Jonathan Bergman. And the Leafs now with David Camp coming away at center. Flipping it in. Batted back, it comes into the slot area, but the Red Wings are there, and Eric Gustafsson will get it out at center ice. Wings get across the line, but Reeves breaks up the rush. Red Wings regrouping back in their own zone. 1-0 Toronto. Mitch Marner with his third goal of the season, his 17th point on the power play. Sharp angle shot stopped by Stolarz as it goes into the corner for Kane. Patrick came back to the point. Shot blocked, rebound turned and fired, and a good save made by Stolarz there as Kasper got it away. Wings back at their own blue line with Patrick Kane, the veteran. Glances over his shoulder to find Justin Hall. Hall down the right wing boards to center, and into the Leaf zone it goes. Broken stick laying precariously in front of the Leaf goal, and Stolarz comes out there to do a little house cleaning and poke it into the corner. See, he does listen to us.
The referee just about tripped over the stick, too.
Well, that was the idea. Centering pass, and Domi couldn't get a shot. Drops it back to the point. Tanev with a shot. Rebound! Oh, and Marner had it bounce high, and he couldn't make good contact or he had a good part of the net to fire it in as the Wings fire it down the ice after that great scoring chance.
I think he might have got a piece of this, Joe, batting out of midair just on the outside of the post.
Oh, he did. Yep, he got a lot of it.
It's almost like a lacrosse rebound, wasn't it? I mean, great hand-eye coordination by Mitch Marner. But don't you love the fact Chris Tanev gets it middle of the ice, has a lane to the net, and just hammers it. And Marner very nearly cashed in for his second of the night.
2:35 left in the period. Draw one by the Leafs. Easy wrist shot handled there by Talbot. Puck along the boards. Nylander couldn't keep it in, and Ekman Larsson now to Morgan Riley. Up ahead and off a body and in over the zone for Nylander. Nylander into the corner, stops up. Centering pass! Deflected high to the left wing side. It'll be brought by Christian Fischer into the Leaf zone, and his shot went wide of the Toronto net. Long shot now going high. It's going to find the screen and go out of play with 2:03 left to play in the period.
Well, first 10-12 minutes of this period, I know you mentioned it a little earlier, there was absolutely nothing going on, and it seemed like the power play goal by Marner has injected a little bit of life into the game on both sides. Shots on goal now at 10 apiece, and both goaltenders have been solid. Stolarz hasn't really been forced to make a spectacular save yet, but he has battled at a lot of scrambly opportunities the Wings have had. Red Wings actually coming in on a 2-game winning streak after having lost 3 straight.
Flipped into the zone then by Marner. He goes in along the boards with Gustafsson. Nyes hoping for a loose puck to materialize. It comes out now to Domi. Domi back to the point. Shot blocked. Domi got it again. Tried to make a move around one of the Detroit players and failed. And the Wings get it out at center, and Nyes intercepts that. Domi finds Benoit. Off Marner's stick and into the zone it goes. Leafs are in the process of changing. Minute 27 to go in the period. Pass up the middle. Kopp gets it in over the line. Maple Leafs intercept. McCabe will send a long shoot in off the glove of Talbot. And the Wings are back at their own goal, getting it up on the far side. Detroit's a little heady with its sports teams this fall. Here's a chance for Robertson centering in front, and a wrist shot taken by Pontus Holmberg went high and wide of the net. The Detroit Tigers, of course, had a wonderful run to the playoffs. Didn't get very far, but the Detroit Lions, after what seems to be centuries, but really decades of futility, and we got a penalty coming here for interference. One of the Wings had his stick knocked out of his hands. I think it's going to go to the Maple Leafs.
Bobby McMahon, maybe?
No, I think
or
this
Holmberg.
might be. Or is it Robertson?
Well,
I don't know who it is.
Neither do the Leafs because the referee's pointing. And yeah, this is one of those nobody knows who's got the penalty. Marner has now gone to the other official to ask. The microphone actually didn't pick up the number of the player that was penalized. So the Leafs still did not have anyone in the box. Marner went back and said, okay, who got it? But you're right. I think it was for this flash knocking his stick out of the hand.
And now they're having it explained at the Leaf bench. Well, one of you guys, somebody in a blue uniform, and it's Robertson who's going.
Whoever did that,
it was
you.
Yeah, you know who you are.
And you know what? It's one of those that if the stick doesn't go flying, it's not a penalty. It's not a slash. It's not. I think interference was the call. Now they got Bobby McMahon. Boy, this was like Oliver Ekman-Larsson in Minnesota. Took a double minor and was on the bench. Had no idea that he was getting called for one, let alone 2 penalties. And now Bobby McMahon, he had his spot. I had it right the first time.
Yes, you did. Very good. Well, the penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Well, that makes a lot of people wonder what went on. Wings on the power play. Dish it off in the far half boards. Down low, it goes into the corner. Wings trying to stretch things out as it comes back to the point. Kane working in on the left wing, doesn't get the shot away. Now tries to center, goes off the skate of Larkin. Larkin with a shot. That deflects wide, narrowly missing the official. Shot from the point is blocked. Leafs get a hold of it, and they're going to backhand it out with 8 seconds left in the period. Quickly brought back by Lucas Raymond. The drop pass in on the right wing side, and time is going to run out before the Wings get another shot at the goal.
They might want to keep close track of Dylan Larkin, who's 5 of his 8 goals on the season have come on the power play.
And he leads the National Hockey League in that department. But the Leafs lead in this game. A goal by Mitch Marner from Nylander and Riley on the power play at 11-12 has the Leafs out in front 1-0. And we've got Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart standing by. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This fall so far on The Howard Stern Show.
Chris Stapleton.
Hello, everybody.
Charlie XCX.
You are Brad.
People are going wild.
Plus Aubrey Plaza, Colin Jost and Michael Che, and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. And coming soon, Howard's very first interview with Cher. This fall on The Howard Stern Show, exclusively on Sirius XM.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does, Doughty does, Stone does. And if you don't have enough of those players, get rid of them, because they'll make you lose. They'll frustrate the fan base.
What's up, Insiders? All right, what a period. We've got the lead, 1-0. We'll take it. Hey, it's always good when the Leafs start up and it's not too big. They won't give anything up, hopefully, in the second. Knock on some wood. But with that being said, Richard B., welcome to the club. Thank you for joining as an insider. I got to add your name to the list right over here. But just got back over here from the TV watching the game. But look at this, the chat going wild. Brad Smith, Andrew Hurd, Mr. Roboto, Stefan, Klomp, there's Klomp, Rick Smith, love it. Sandra Berube, Don Donaldson, how you doing, Don? I know Robbie's been in here as well, flashing all those Red Wings logos. Robbie, come on, man, one of the original members, man. It's awesome. We got a lot of OGs in the house tonight. We got Robbie, we got Mr. Roboto's been here since like day one. This it's kind of cool now because we actually have 1 year to go by. So it's really, really fun. Richard Fewer in the chat. What's up, Richard? Good to see you. The mods, all the blue wrenches showing up tonight with the poppies. Love it. Beautiful. All right. I'm getting ready. I got to refill the cocktail. We'll see you guys in the second period. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hitting the like button, guys. We're at 518 likes. Let's crush 1,000 tonight. I want to be almost at 1,000 by the end of the second period. I think we can get it. Let's go. Hit that like button. Share it out to your friends. Let's get more hockey fans in here, and we'll see you guys in a bit. There you go, Stefan in the chat. What's up? Yes, TSI Allison is right behind me. Steve A, what's up? Go Leafs, go, man. Good to see you.
Rod Brindamore could check off making that jump last year. What do you see in the net?
The kid wants it. That's the first thing. Is he going to be the guy that we're looking at this year to get after it and take a bigger role? Maybe. But we still got Freddie in here. I think he's got something to prove. So I think we're going to have a good battle in the net.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Flyers defenseman Travis Sanheim.
Is it a rebuild type thing? Is it definitely a playoff team in your mind?
I think last season, I don't know if anyone in our room was saying rebuild. We thought that we could surprise some teams, and I think we did that. A lot of guys that are coming back, and then obviously adding Meat Scott's going to be huge. So, we're looking forward to getting started and see if we can build off of last season.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Marner will carry it through neutral ice and weave to the right wing side and in with a pass to Willie. Nylander to the net for the shot. Rebound, scores! Marner tidies up the garbage in front of the net. But the Leafs wasted little time setting things up. Let's take it to the hoop. And they did for a 1-0 lead.
24 seconds after that penalty, so 24 seconds in the power play. Marner scores his third, 1-0 Toronto over Detroit after 20 minutes of play. TSN After 20 is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. The power play goal, Stu, it's a swarm. They just kept driving to the net.
Yes, and we talk about direct lines and entering the zone on their power play with authority, and kudos to Mitch Marner. And he's really put this team on his back and not really deferred to anybody right now. And with a great pass to Nylander. And Nylander didn't decide that, hey, you know what, I'm going to come in and pull up. No, he's going to drive, put that puck into an area, almost score. But kudos to Marner cleaning up the garbage, as mentioned, and potting home the goal to make it 1-0. So a great first period by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They played solid. They hemmed Detroit in their zone for an extended period of times. Big, solid hockey. A little bit of a momentum killer with that penalty at the end. But, again, we didn't know. No one knew what that penalty was or if it was even supposed to be a penalty. But a really good first period, and I'm happy if I'm Craig Berube.
The only guy who knew about the penalty was the guy who called it. Nobody else. It's lost on everybody else. The goal that was called back, a little sketchy, but nonetheless, they recovered on the power play.
Yeah, and we talked about that third-line vortex, and it's been a great period by that first line. And I think McMahon has probably been the most effective forward amongst this Leafs next to Mitch Marner. And a great speed, tenacity, straight-line hockey, driving his shoulder down to there. And, again, it was a bit of a goalie interference, I guess. And that's the one thing that I sort of grinds my gears with regards to what is goalie interference versus what's not. I'm just looking for a little bit more consistency. For me, I don't think that was goalie interference. I believe Talbot maybe had an opportunity to recover and make that save. And, for me, I really feel for Nick Robertson, who's been working so hard this year. And honestly, if the luck was on his side, he'd probably have 5 or 6 goals. But good job not letting that adversity really ruin the period, and they found a way to get back into the game and the power play. That's sort of been the story of the year, where I think they'd have 2 or 3 more wins if they were as consistent and stepping up to the moment like they did in that first period.
Actually, there's a play just before that goal, and there was no goal involved, but Stolarz was hit in his crease, and I think he was talking to the referee. There's no call on the play, but Stolarz, he made some big saves. A couple of good glove saves, too.
Yeah, and he wasn't overly worked. Yeah, I think it's they changed it to possibly 8 shots. I thought it was 9 shots, but again, I think it was 3 shots through 9 minutes for the Detroit Red Wings. So again, he's been sort of sitting at extended period of times, and he's got to make 2-3 big saves. And it just seems, like we talked about earlier, the puck just seems to hit him. There's no panic in his game. He's just in front of the net, waiting for it to hit him. And I just love that rebound control. That puck 9 times out of 10 is going outside the reach of the opposition. It's into the corner for an easy breakout. So right now it's a solid effort. The D have been doing great jobs boxing out the forwards. Everything's been from the outside, and it's a pretty good 20 minutes for the Maple Leafs.
I mean, you've got some notes there. I don't know if this appears. I'm sure it does. The battle between Nyes and Cider. That's fun to watch, isn't it?
It is, and it's fun, right? And I say it's a treat to watch when I run out of adjectives, but that's just Nyes there. You saw him put a pass between his legs, and he is tremendously skilled, but his bread and butter is just getting to the net, creating havoc in front of the net. We saw Nylander's goal last game. It bounced off the opposition's skate, but he's in front of the net jousting with Nyes. So if I'm a defender, it's a nightmare to play against a guy like Nyes, who's just so big and strong, and I believe he put on 15 pounds in the offseason. He is a budding power forward star, and it's great to see him and watch him play on a nightly basis.
We talked about the third line. Did you like the fourth line?
I did. They weren't stuck in their zone. They were breaking out fairly good. And, again, they were, I would say, a net positive. Getting in on the forecheck, a couple hits. Taking a look now, Ryan Reeves, 1 hit. Lorentz has got some speed as well, too. Kampf, he seems like he is, bringing that tenacity and energy every shift. So, for me, it's a solid 4-line team right now, and that's how you win games and win games consistently and put together 2, 3, 4-game winning streaks.
Yeah, so just to recap what we talked about in the pregame, so Austin Matthews was put on the injured list, which means he's there for at least a week, or probably just a week. Connor Dewar was recalled from the Marlies. He was supposed to play the weekend visiting Charlotte with the Marlies, but he's been recalled. He took the pregame skate, did not play tonight, tonight, but we probably expect him to see him play tomorrow night.
Yeah, typically when you take the warm-up, you're either close, so it's either tonight. It wasn't tonight, obviously, but tomorrow. But he's a guy that, again, he's another player that brings that energy. He's interchangeable between that third and fourth line. He can win some big faceoffs. He can get pucks out. Not the biggest statistician last year with the 5 points in 17 games, but he's known to bring tenacity, energy, and be tough to play against. So added that now, I think it's going to take him a couple games to get accustomed to which line is he going to play with, who's going to be his line mates, where does he fit. But he is a great player for this Maple Leafs. He's going to be a welcomed addition once he's healthy and performing on a nightly basis.
So let's go back in the Leaf zone. We were talking about Stolarz, and he was brilliant. There's no question about that. Didn't need to be stupendous, but he made some really good saves. But when you look at how the Leaf defensemen are playing this, and how the Leafs play in their own zone, nobody really gets inside, do they?
No, and going back to that Minnesota game where, they were in the zone sometimes, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but there wasn't really any penetration. They were sort of on the outside, and, the one play that I have written down was there was a skipping puck, and the Detroit player was swinging at it, and McCabe just comes in and pushes out and creates separation between him. So they do a great job. It's like the Great Wall, keeping them outside of that crease. So that added with Stolarz's size, it's almost impenetrable because, again, the puck just hits him and you're going to have to make that perfect shot. And sometimes now, even when they get the one-timer, it's so far outside that he has enough time to get across and make that big save. So, yes, it's only 20 minutes into the game, but if I'm Craig Berube, stick to that system in the defensive zone, just collapse, keep them to the outside. And what I'm seeing so far is the speed is pretty good on the breakout. They're getting some breaks, and I could see them tiring out Detroit's defense and having a big second and third period, second half of the game most likely.
Yeah, and Detroit's getting the one shot. They're not getting a rebound or a second opportunity.
That is a goaltender's dream. He just had to make the first save, and when you're 6'2" and 230 plus pounds, 6'6", excuse me, it's easy to make that first save. And we've seen some of the shots that Stolarz has let in. They have to make that perfect shot.
So it's 1-0 for Toronto over Detroit after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on GSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of...
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Red Wings, a Friday night special. What's the good part about that? We get to do it again tomorrow night, Saturday night, our favorite night of the week. Hockey night in Canada. Back-to-back Leafs. But tonight, it's the Red Wings. We got to take out Detroit. Cheers to two resident Detroit fans that have been hanging out here on TSI for a very long time. Klomp as well as Shroom. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Now, please make sure you've hit that like button down below, and then please share the link so we can get more people like Klomp and Shroom here in the chat, having a good time, hanging out with us, making a difference in the real world. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's beat the Red Wings. Let's keep it rolling.
Where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
This is the sound of an exciting Black Friday sale. And this is the sound of an exciting Black Friday sale at Sleep Country. Black Friday just isn't the same at Sleep Country, except for the best deals on the best brands. Get hot prices on lifestyle bases starting at only $899 and take advantage of our unbeatable price guarantee. We will beat any competitor pricing. Don't miss out. The Black Friday event is on now at Sleep Country. Speak to a sleep expert for full details.
It's hard to make time for everything on your to-do list, especially at this time of year. But blood and plasma donors are essential to helping meet patients' needs. We're asking you to add a donation to your to-do list.
Because our communities depend on it.
Because it's critical to my son's treatment.
Because you might need it in an emergency.
Make donating a life-saving habit. For patients and the people who love them, you'll make all the difference. Visit blood.ca to book a donation appointment at a Canadian Blood Services location near you.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos. Malcolm gets his accent right with Babbel's speech recognition.
Sur le point.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Right now, go to babbel.com/radio to get 60% off. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 60% off.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra, RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have. Pittsburgh's in Washington tonight. It's late in the first period. Penguins have a 2-1 lead. Achari and Bunting have scored. Crosby has an assist. Sandin has scored for the Capitals. Nothing for Ovi. So 2-1 Pittsburgh over Washington late in the first period. A couple other games that will start at 10 o'clock. The Wild visiting the Ducks. The Golden Knights in Seattle against the Kraken. And in our game, it is 1-0 for the Leafs on the goal by Marner in the power play over Detroit. After 20 minutes of play, Wings will start with a bit of a power play on fresh ice in the second period, and that is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
What the? Every fantasy football champion makes one defining move.
Brock Bowers is going to be the #1 receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. And if you have him, congratulations.
Touchdown Raiders! Fantasy Sports Radio can help you make that move.
It's really important to pay attention to the drops when waivers run. You're going to see some decent players drop, so make sure you always look at the drop list.
Listen to the best analysts for lineup advice, trade questions, and roster moves. Make your move with Fantasy Sports Radio, Sirius XM 87, and the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does, Doughty does, Stone does. And if you don't have enough of those players, get rid of them, because they'll make you lose. They'll frustrate the fan base. I want people that are with me, rowing in the same direction. And if you can't, get out of town. We'll find someone who can.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM. Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final. That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City. Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern. And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs take a 1-0 lead into the second period on a goal by Mitch Marner. His third of the season from Willie Nylander and Morgan Riley. It's a power play goal, and the Leafs have been pretty hot with the power play recently. They went 3 for 7 the other night, and now have gone 1 for 1. They'll try to kill off the remainder of a minute 20 of the Wings' first power play opportunity to start this second period.
What about the period for Bobby McMahon? Has a goal called back that he thought counted, or a goal that he set up called back? Called off because they deemed that he interfered with Detroit goaltender Cam Talbot.
And he had to be plucked.
And then he was identified out of a lineup.
Out of a lineup?
Yes.
Very good.
Referee went over. Nobody went.
Guys.
Nick Robertson gave her the box, and then it wasn't Roberts. Kind of made you think like the official wasn't too sure either, was he? Who he was calling.
Well, McMahon was sitting on the Leaf bench just now. And wait a minute. I got to go over here.
Yeah,
Forgot.
How was your period? Pretty good.
Good, yeah. Well, we're underway. Wings to the right, Leafs to the left. To Brinkett. Coming out of his own zone. Dishes off to Patrick Kane. Kane had his pass intercepted by Marner. He springs it ahead. And David Camp trying to get a shot in on goal. was kind of knocked down, and then the Red Wing, who was back checking on him, collided with his goaltender.
Well, Snyder, I think, took that shot up around the neck area.
DeBrincat back into the Toronto zone. Centering pass, intercepted by Camp, and he springs Marner. Marner's going to work in over the line and just feed it in wide of the goal. He goes in there after it, and now he's going to try and get to the bench and get a change of players going as the Wings with Kane bringing it down on the right side. Nicely stood up there as the rolling puck goes in on goal, and Pontus Holmberg was wise to allow Stolarz to cover up on it. Anthony Stolarz with a bit of a grin on his face after making sure that Pontus Holmberg didn't do anything that he wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, take a look at that play again. David Camp shot, I think it rifled up or ramped up off the stick of Moritz Seider. Caught himself in the neck area, and then he fell into his goalie.
Now shot from the angle, and save made by Stolarz, and
guess what?
One. So we got to keep score this time.
Now, how much
He lost his stick for those. Yeah.
Oh, how much do you think the Leafs are saving a year? Because he can't be going through them that quickly, right? Because he only got one half the time. They said it used to. Matt Murray went through that phase of knocking the net off, and now Anthony Stolarz is an incredible run where he loses a stick. It seems at least 2 or 3 times a game, and it hasn't cost him.
Oh, clearing attempt by Nyes, and he fanned on it completely, but he's going to get some assistance here from Benoit, who shoots the puck out and down the ice. That could have been disastrous. Penalty expires. Tarasenko brings the puck in on the right wing. Tarasenko had it knocked off his stick, and now Tavares turns back up ice. Rink wide for Nylander. Nylander dropping now for Timmins. Timmins' shot was blocked. It goes around back of the net. McMahon couldn't get it to Nylander cleanly. Nylander with one of the wings down and the puck underneath him. And it's going to be long enough to bring a face-off in the Detroit zone as Justin Hall got knocked down and had the puck in his hip pocket, looked like. Face-off coming in the circle to the right.
Be a pretty
Cam Talbot.
Pretty ballsy call to call delay a game there, wouldn't it? I mean, technically.
Yeah.
If you're Justin Hall, you could care less because you're saying I'm not sitting on my backside in behind my own net. I'm just going to cough it up to
somebody
Willie Nylander.
Yeah. Wings win the face-off. Brought to center with a pass that was broken up at the Leaf blue line. Leafs counter on the left wing. Nylander over on the right side for Pacioretty, and he couldn't get his stick extricated from the checking of the defense. And it's cleared now by Detroit back into Toronto territory. And that got by everybody and has sailed all the way back down into Detroit territory. Wings back. Long up goes to DeBrincat. DeBrincat gives it off on the left wing. Larkin with a shot, and down is Stolarz, and he has swallowed that up off his chest and held on to his stick. And so a face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the right.
That is odd seeing Vladimir Tarasenko.
You know who was really good at that, though?
At what?
Dominic Hasek.
Oh, losing the stick.
Never had his stick. And he would do it on purpose because he wanted more flexibility with his blocking glove around scrambles and everything else.
Well,
right?
and so often would drop his stick to grab the puck with his blocker hand.
Yep.
Wish I'd have thought of that. Be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, it is Hall of Fame night.
I know.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
At the next meeting?
Yeah. Pass comes back to the point. Edmondson had it bounce over his stick, and it comes all the way back to the Detroit blue line. Edmondson running out of room there as Marner was chasing after him. Nyes was able to keep it in for a second, but the Wings break out on the right side. They got it turning around and a shot. Oh, what a great save made there by Stolarz. And it's out into the center ice area. A quick right leg pad save to deny the Red Wings and keep the score at 1-0 Toronto. Up on the right side for Robertson. Drop pass now for Domi. His shot. Big save there and a big rebound. And the puck comes back for the Red Wings, but they don't get it out. Now they do as they clear it off the glass to center. Benoit, left wing side. Holmberg got in over the line, got it around back of the net, trying to follow up on the play. The pass came out, and a centering effort there by Bobby McMahon was deflected through the blue paint. Now a shot whistled by Holmberg wide of the goal. Kept in at the blue line by Ekman Larsson. Robertson chasing after it, and the Wings are going to get it airmailed high into neutral ice and down to the lead blue line and into the zone. Cleared up on the wing for Robertson. A quick pass and a 2-on-1 developing here for Toronto. Left wing side, trying to work in Holmberg, and a pass in front of the net for McMahon, and it deflected just wide. Wings bring it back the other way. Send it towards the net, scooped aside by Anthony Stolarz, and out come the Maple Leafs again. Holmberg with a long shoot in that's going to be caught and then held by Cam Talbot. And a face-off coming in the Red Wing zone. And Holmberg looking up at the monitor above center ice saying, how did I not score on that? Well, not that quite shot.
the one we're seeing on the scoreboard?
Yeah, yeah. The one that was a good scoring chance.
Cam Talbot is the latest project for the Red Wings of bringing a veteran guy in. They said the Billy Husso deal, I thought was great. He had great numbers in St. Louis when they brought him in, but through injuries, they have had to rely on other guys to fill that void. As we mentioned, although Husso's backing up, he's only played in one game, and it wasn't a complete game.
Centering pass for Tavares didn't work. Then Tavares centers it out in front of the net. It's kicked back to the point. Ekman Larsson to Nylander. A wrist shot is steered wide by Talbot. Puck into the far corner, and Tavares gets it back to the point again. Over it comes to Nylander. Nylander along the boards for Ekman Larsson. His shot deflected wide. And Riley, trying to keep it in, has been successful in doing so. Down into the near corner, Pacioretty knocked down. And the Wings will try to move it up ice, and they have, as it rolls down into the Toronto zone. Oliver Ekman Larsson, round back of the net, being chased. The puck turned over. Comfer trying to get it back in behind the net. Deflects to the near boards. Wings get to it first. Raymond trying to play it in front. Can't. It comes back along the boards for Joe Veleno. Veleno back to the point. Sherratt with a shot blocked. Now this one didn't get through either. And the Leafs are able to punch it out into center ice. Gustafsson sends it in. Leafs send it out. Fisher trying to find some room. Finally gets it ahead, but it was deflected off a stick and down into Detroit territory. Wings. Gustafsson up on the left wing. Veleno pass into the slot, deflects into the near corner. Leafs get it back to Morgan Riley with time and space, and he'll get it out as it's brought to center ice by Timmins off of David Kamp's skate. Wings have it again in their own zone. Gustafsson in across the line. Veleno having difficulties with it. Played it around back of the net. Benoit barges into his man to spring the puck free. Connor Timmins gets it ahead, and Reeves banks it ahead, and Lorentz gets it into the zone. David Kamp couldn't get it in front where Reeves was coming down the slot. It comes back to the point, though. Here's Tanev with a pass into the far corner. Reeves taken to the boards, has the puck in his skates. Kamp trying to help out by prying it free, but then couldn't get it far enough to find Nyes, who was in the midst of coming over the boards in the change, as Kane now sends it back into the Toronto end. Leafs turn the puck over. Centering pass is intercepted by Toronto. One-handed out at center by Domi, but quickly brought back now by Detroit. Played around to the side of the goal, punched by the goaltender to the far side, but DeBrincat has cut that off and bounces it back to the blue line and just kept in there by Justin Hall. Leafs with it in the near corner. A little 4-foot pass to Spring Domi, and out on the left wing it'll go to Chris Tanev. He'll get it to the line, but doesn't get it in deep. Red Wings try to play it right back in again, and Kane does that, but then peels to the bench for a change. 7 minutes in the books. 1-0 Toronto here in the second period. Pacioretty in on the left wing for Domi. Into the slot for Marner. Looking for Pacioretty in front. And that deflected just wide of the Detroit goal. Gustafsson shoots it back into the Toronto end. Tarasenko plays it back at the net. Good play there by Ekman Larsson to lift the Red Wings stick to allow the puck access back to the blue line, but the Wings are able to keep it in. Drop pass to the point. Pass on the left wing side. Tarasenko couldn't get a shot away. Riley blocked that effort. Over on the far side for Veleno. Veleno back in around back of the net. Cut off by Riley. Played in front of the net. A bouncing puck is finally brought off, but a penalty coming to Toronto. John Tavares, while trying to get out of his own end, put the hook on the Detroit player. And so the Leafs will be a man short for the second time in the contest. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Hey, insiders and hockey fans all over the world. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Now's the time. Let us know where Leafs Nation is gathering tonight. Where are you watching from? Here on TSI, hanging out together. Let us know. Put your flag out in the chat if you can. City and province, city and state. Let's see. Are you downtown Toronto? Right next to Scotiabank Arena where the game's being played? Out in Lake Country, Northern Ontario, out west in Canada, or in the United States or around the world, like me, displaced fan. You know what I'm saying? Here we are, hanging out together. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go.
Still treats me like a star. I earn points on everything I love at Metro and Food Basics. More rewards, made for everyone, even me, Jennifer Lopez. Join today and save.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Second power play of the game for the Red Wings. The penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. And Tavares is in the penalty box.
And another one of those calls, you think if the Detroit player doesn't go down, is it an infraction? But it looked like the Leafs were actually, I think maybe it had more to do with the fact the puck was turned over the slot. As Ekman Larsson had a little touch pass to John Tavares, but Tavares overskated it, turned to scoop it back, and just got the Red Wing player for the penalty.
7:55 the time of the penalty, and the Wings make a bad pass.
Red Wings,
and it
by the
slides
way,
all the way back in their own zone.
Red Wings 6 for 16 in their 6 previous games coming in. As we mentioned, Dylan Larkin leading the league with 5 power play goals.
Kane gets in over the line, can't center. Larkin was coming down the chute. The Maple Leafs send it off Marner's stick to get it down into Detroit territory, and changes coming for the Maple Leafs.
Bit of a curling lock dropped back towards the Red Wing net.
Larkin in over the line. I didn't know how to broadcast that. Back to the point. A long shot high over top of the net. Taken there by Seider. The puck still free. Slashed at. Grabbed off by the Leafs. Cleared to the line. Not out. Seider over on the right wing side. Kane getting it back. Seider with it once more. Quickly into the corner. Kane centers. Deflected away from Lucas Raymond. Raymond corrals it on the left wing boards. Gets it down low. Back again. It comes to Raymond. A pass into the slot. There's the shot and scores. Larkin from in the slot. And they're looking for him, and he's got the hot hand. And Larkin ties the game.
And he was open just for a split second. Pontus Holmberg was with Larkin. And when he anticipated the puck going back to the left point, he left him for a split second. And as Holmberg went towards the left point, the puck was funneled back into Dylan Larkin, who was in the left wing circle right by the faceoff dot. And Larkin, give him credit. He takes the pass facing the right point and then does a little spin, little turn, and snaps it. over the left shoulder, far side on Stolarz to tie this game at 1.
So the Red Wing captain has his 6th power play goal, which leads the National Hockey League. And the Red Wings are in a tie with the Maple Leafs 1-1. Down the boards for Nylander in the offensive zone. Back of the net, had it knocked away. Pushed ahead for Berggren. Berggren for Detroit on the left wing. Across the line, Tarasenko. He is able to punch it back of the net. Berggren gets it back to the point to Hall. Pish put back into the corner there. Berggren couldn't get it out. And the Maple Leafs finally, with Pacioretty having difficulties with it, plays it up on the left wing, and Tavares brings it back, now trying to play it out at center, but it's blocked at the blue line, and a long shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Scooped around back of the net, cut off there by Morgan Rielly. Rielly starting out, works up on the left wing. Got away from one check. Had to make a pass, but his stick was tapped. And is there a penalty?
No, too many men on the ice. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is the call, Joe. Too many men.
Yep. I thought there might have been a penalty for slashing on Rielly's stick. But too many men on the ice for Detroit. And the Maple Leafs are going to get an opportunity with the power play here to take the lead back. It is a 1-1 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
'Tis almost the season, and you've got a sleigh load of holiday channels to unwrap in the SiriusXM app. Shake the tinsel right off the tree with Rockin' Christmas. Set the mood for a silent night with Holiday Chill Out. Or add a touch of Christmas class with Real Jazz Holiday. There are dozens of channels to choose from. Just open the SiriusXM app and search Holiday.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The hockey fan that's hanging out with us, listening to the best call on the planet Earth, Joe Bowen's radio call. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Maple Leafs game this season. We're the home for Toronto sports. If it's a Toronto sports team, we're live. We are here on TSI, hanging out together, making a difference. Now let's get back to the hockey and let's have some fun. Let's beat the Red Wings tonight. And thank you so much to the 56,042 insiders that have hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Faceoff coming in the Detroit zone to the right. 9:49 to play in the period. The Maple Leafs are on the power play. Brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealer. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. The Wings win the face-off. They'll play the puck along the boards, and the linesman got in the way, and Morgan Rielly couldn't keep it in. And the linesman's getting an earful over at the lead bench.
The linesman's saying, hey, I called the too many men on the ice penalty.
Yeah,
give me a
come
break.
on, back off. Here's Nylander to the line and in on the left wing. Tavares mishandles the puck but gets it back. He'll get it back to the blue line. Rielly walks the line, doesn't shoot it. Feeds off to Marner on the right wing side, down into the corner to Nylander. Nylander working back to the point. Rielly with it there. Now to Marner. Marner closes in front of the net. A backhand stop there by Talbot. Tavares back to the point, just kept in by Rielly. Back to Tavares. Again to Rielly. Far point. Now to Marner. Marner trying to find Nylander, and then a shot, scores! The pass was partially blocked, and John Tavares got it, and from a similar spot that Larkin scored, John Tavares scores to give the Leafs the lead, 2-1.
And the Leafs are currently on a 6-for-11 streak in the last 2+ games. And I know every time the Leafs score a power play goal, I say the same thing. Matthew Nyes right in front of the Red Wing net. May not have been as pronounced a screen this time. But as Tavares, and you're right, almost the same spot as Dylan Larkin, and the same way Tavares had to take the puck on his forehand and then turn to get face towards the net and fire it far side on Cam Talbot. But I love the fact that Matthew Nyes is right at the top of the crease. I've always mentioned lately that Zach Hyman, you play with skilled guys, you get power play time, use that big frame to go to the front of the net, and Matthew Nyes did it again, whether he picks up a point or not.
Leafs get it down into the offensive zone. Domi working the left wing boards, trying to get it back to the point to Tanev, but Tanev has to back off as the puck comes out into the center ice area. So the Maple Leafs regain the lead as a rolling puck goes to the side of the Red Wing goal. Marner and Riley drawing the assists on the goal. And from being absolutely dead last in power play proficiency, the Leafs are on a heater.
The thing is, they're not scoring pretty goals.
No.
It's throw it to the net, get traffic in front. It's every hockey cliche you could think of, they've been able to use and get some results with.
Another multi-point game for Mitch Marner. Cleared high and too far for anybody, and icing will be called here against the Leafs, and it'll come back into the zone.
For Mitch Marner, now the 7-game point streak. 2 goals, 9 points, or 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points during this stretch. They said you can talk all you want about, hey, get rid of Mitch Marner, move him out. You will never get anything of equal value in return.
No.
Like we said, I mean, if you think you want a couple of pickup trucks for the Maserati, that's fine, and they might help you in certain areas, but you're not going to get the same value back on what Mitch Marner could do.
Long shooting into the left wing corner, down in the Detroit zone, fed around the boards. It'll come up on the left wing.
By the way,
Tarasenko gets it out.
Pickup trucks aren't exactly cheap now either, are they?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah. You were on a roll, and I thought, no, I'll just screw this up if I bring some logic to it.
What about a Vespa?
There you go.
Yeah.
Or what was the Russian car? What were those things? Puck down in the Toronto zone, and a penalty coming here to the Leafs.
A second drop stick. And Chris Lee is having none of that, arguing the call.
Wow.
But at least it appears that it's easier to identify who got it.
Well, there's that. So the Wings go to their third power play. Chris Lee's called every penalty and denied the goal. So he's had a busy night. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks.
My God. It's one of those. Benoit comes in, takes the body first. His stick comes down stick on stick. It's not even a slash. Craig Berube is just, he's looking around saying, you got to be kidding me on this. Fortunately, the stick appears to be okay.
Is it? Oh, good.
But I mean, this was, Benoit takes his man, and as he brings his stick down, the Detroit player has one hand on his stick and drops it. Jeez.
Anyway, Red Wings back on the power play. The Leafs have to try and kill off a penalty here. Sider for Raymond, cross ice pass, didn't connect. Kane down into the corner, banks it back to the blue line. Sider back into Kane. Kane mishandles the puck. The Leafs are able to come away with it. And Kane had a really good hook on the Leaf player, but no call.
Yeah, that was Jake McCabe.
Here's Larkin in across the line. Works to the near half boards. Pennant around back of the net. Nicely cut off there by McCabe. The puck in the corner now, and Marner got it freed up. Oh, poked it in front of his own goal, hoping to get Pontus Holmberg to clear, but he couldn't make contact. Wings keep it in to the near side. Raymond with a shot. That's wide, and it'll carry him off the corner boards and slide all the way back to the blue line in the Detroit zone.
Well, Lucas Raymond just 1 goal on the season, and it was a short-handed marker, but came into the game leading the team in total points.
5:43 to play in the period. 44 seconds left in the penalty. Wings don't get access to the zone. Now they get it in on the right side. Down the boards for Berggren. Berggren back to the point. Into the corner again for Berggren, looking for a man in front. The bouncing puck just kept in there by Tarasenko. Onto the left wing side. Fisher, a pass across to the far side, and Berggren couldn't come up with it. Now Tarasenko with a shot, and that's off the mark wide, and the rebound is on edge and rolls all the way out at center with 15 seconds left in the penalty. Now the Wings have set it in, and it's going to be an icing call.
And with 12 seconds left, that could put the Leafs out of danger here in this Detroit power play. Vladimir Tarasenko, it's hard to recognize certain players when they've switched numbers. He wore 91 all of his career. And now with the Detroit Red Wings is wearing number 11. I'm sure, well, I haven't read anything specifically, that sort of in honor of Sergei Fedorov, who wore 91 for years with the Red Wings. And it's out of respect for him. But
have they haven't retired that number, have they?
I do not believe so.
Wings break it out. Sherratt sends it in over the line. Tarasenko driving. Couldn't get a shot in front, and then it comes in front of the net and launched out at center and down. And Benoit races after it. He's going to get down there and get a hit in. The puck comes around the boards, and Nyes arrives on the scene. Now waiting for teammates who are coming off the bench. Cycles it along the boards. Centering pass goes from Robertson, and a wrist shot is deflected in front of the net and up into the screen off the stick of Jake McCabe, who let that go off the left wing. The Leafs with a 2-1 lead. Both of them are power play goals. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 20.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, buds. We got the lead back. I love it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I wanted to jump in here real quick. I just pinned the chat. Guys, check it out. Rick Smith just pinned a link to a video that shows about Rick being a superstar and being on Team Canada. So go check out that link. Right now, it is a older video from about 10 years or so back. Rick, thank you for sending this over. Let's raise awareness for your cause, man. What you're doing is awesome. What you've done is awesome. You are a legend. Like you say in the chat there, legends live here. You got it right. Rick, thanks for being here, man. And everybody else, thank you. Daniel Lucas, what's up? Johan Yotun, Stefan Ice X. There you go, Roboto. What's up, Roboto? How you feeling, man? You got a fatty going? What's up? Let's go, man. I'm ready. I need to go find something. All right, going back to chill and watch the game. We'll see you guys in the intermission during one of the breaks. Maybe. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you in there.
Leafs 2 and the Red Wings 1. And my idol and dear friend, Johnny Bauer, would have been 100 years younger today. We lost him, I guess about 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing in the media room before the game.
But the Remembrance Day game, which will be tomorrow, was always a big thing. Of course, Johnny served overseas.
Even when you hear the ovation for Darryl Sittler and Eddie Belfour.
Johnny brought the house down.
Yeah.
Remember the time when they had him rappel down from the ceiling?
Yes.
That was a great bit. It really was. Played around the boards on the left wing. It wasn't actually Johnny rappelling down. It was a member of the armed forces, but they landed in behind the bench, and when the lights went up, there was Johnny coming out with all of the equipment on, and everybody, are you kidding me? He was 80 years old. Why would they have him do that? That was great. Centering pass. Bobby McMahon can't get his stick on the puck to get a shot away. And out come the Red Wings to center. Sherratt backhands into the zone. Tanev got it freed up. Gets it back again behind the goal. Gives it off to his defense partner. And Timmins, a rink-wide pass that McMahon couldn't kick up from his skate to his stick. Wings have it again in their own zone. 3:40 to play in the period. Larkin had it knocked off his stick, almost lost it there to Pacioretty, who gets in over the line with Nylander. Pacioretty against the boards. Tavares trying to help out. The puck still free. Tavares in traffic, unable to punch it in closer, and then it's brought in offside by Nylander. And so there'll be a face-off in neutral ice with 3:22 to go in the second period. And the Leafs in a tight one here with the Red Wings, and it is 2-1 in favor of Toronto.
It's always funny when you see certain numbers. And when you look at the Red Wings, they currently have 3 players on the roster that were born before 1990, which includes Cam Talbot, Patrick Kane, and Jeff Petrie. It's just, now you think 1990, you got guys playing in the league that were born well into the 2000s.
So I'm not mentioning when you were born? I'm not mentioning when I was born.
Yep.
Played out and down the ice by the Leafs. There's going to be an icing call here.
I'd have to scroll back a few calendars for that. Say when you're talking about Johnny Bauer.
Let's just say there was rotary telephones.
Johnny Bauer was, you talked about being held down in the ceiling here in the rink, Armed Forces night. I was thinking, I think I was the only goalie that was sent down faster than he was that time.
Well, at least you weren't repelled up.
That may never happen.
Oh, that's right. Wings to the far side in the Leaf zone. Pacioretty plays it out into neutral ice. Now brought on by Tavares. He's got Nylander with him. Tavares trying to break through. He's in. Got a shot away. And that was stopped by Talbot. Great effort there by the former captain. Larkin counterattacks for Detroit. In across the line. Tried to make an extra move, and that was costly as McCabe took it away from him, and then McCabe gave the puck away and then had it gifted back to him. Marner against the boards and in, and couldn't quite drag it along, or he had a 2-on-1 developing there with Knies. Fired back into the Toronto zone. Larkin on the far boards loses control of the puck, and it's deflected off a Red Wing stick out at center ice with 2 minutes to go here in the second period. The Leafs 2, the Red Wings 1. Played into the Toronto end. Stolarz stops it. Pass into the slot area, brought on by Toronto. McCabe comes to the red line and dumps it in, and then immediately goes to the bench. Talbot scoops it back along the wall. Red Wings break it out. Up on the left wing, it goes for Kasper. Kasper, a pass in front of the net, knocked away there by David Camp. As going to the front of the net was Larkin. Now back on the right side, and a shot by Reeves. Swallowed up by goaltender Cam Talbot to stop play with 1:27 left to go here in the second period. We would think with a back-to-back situation that Joseph Wall would start tomorrow night against Les Bleu Blanc et Rouge.
It'll be his first start in a week. His last start was a week ago tomorrow in St. Louis.
And tomorrow night will be the Remembrance Day game that is always very special to the Maple Leafs for their history. Conn Smythe, of course, organizing brigades to go overseas. And so many of the Leaf players being a part of that, as an errant pass goes down into the Leaf zone and an icing call will come here.
And really now more than ever, you've got to celebrate those that are going to be brought here to be honored. They go on the ice because every year,
we're losing. Yep. And that's the greatest generation of all time. There is absolutely no question about it.
We had an interesting conversation, you and I, with Doug Armstrong and Steve Yzerman about traffic in Toronto.
Yes, none of them seem to be a big fan. I told them, you know what, if you get a bicycle.
Better hurry.
Puck down into the Toronto zone. Trying to come out with it is Rasmussen. He takes it around back of the net. Tavares and Riley tying it up. The puck comes free, and it is Timmins getting it out and into center ice Seider dove to try and keep it in. That didn't work, and now Marner has stolen the puck in the offensive zone, but it rolled away from him. Now he gets it back again behind the net. Oh, he had a man in front of the goal and didn't notice. Tavares had kind of sifted in there and was all alone. And that's not like Marner, because he's got eyes in the back of his head. Has the puck again to Nylander. Nylander turns, right wing side. A shot goes off a leg and goes wide. Nylander in the near corner. Back of the net, got too far for Pontus Holmberg. Kept in by the Maple Leafs now, and back of the net, Nylander takes it there. Centering pass in front of Holmberg, and he wristed it off a body and it went wide. 16 seconds in the period. Leafs led 1-0 after the first. It appears they're going to have a 2-1 lead here after the second, as we get an offside, and they're going to call it a deliberate offside. And so the faceoff is coming all the way back into the Toronto zone, and that's got the Leaf bench upset at the linesman now. That's nice to see it's being spread around.
One of the power plays, Leafs are owed one still.
Yep.
3-2 Detroit.
3-2. Yep. Draw to the left of Anthony Stolarz. Domi will take the face-off. Fisher lost it to Domi. McCabe takes the puck up against the boards, and it's going to be long enough to eat up the clock. And the Leafs will indeed take the lead to the dressing room. After Mitch Marner opened the scoring from Nylander and Riley in the first period, Larkin from Raymond and DeBrincat to tie, but Tavares is sixth from Marner and Riley at 11:01, and it is 2-1 Toronto after 40 minutes of play.
For John Tavares, he came in on a 3-game pointless streak. That was after he had a 6-game point streak, so he is back in the good books at a time with Austin Matthews out of the lineup, and the Leafs need him most.
Neither goaltender was tested that much in the period, just 6 shots apiece in the middle stanza. But a 2-1 Toronto lead after 40 minutes of play. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
What the UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight, and every single night these Leafs are on the ice. I am so appreciative of this community. We just passed 56,000 subscribers last night during the Raptors game, and now here we are tonight during the Leafs game. I recorded this in between because I had a day off. There wasn't a stream. Imagine that. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out with us and making this Toronto sports community what it is. We're on our road to 75,000. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell so you don't miss when we go live for every single Leafs game. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's get loud in the chat. Let's make some noise, insiders. Go Leafs, go. We're winning tonight.
One in the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
This is the NHL. These are pros. You don't want guys to put good power play units on, don't take penalties. You don't want good power play units to score goals when you've given up a whole bunch, kill them. You don't like it, do something about it. If you want to reward your guys who had a good game with a chance to get some more goals and points, do it. If I was a coach, I wouldn't care. Who cares? Worry about your own team. Don't worry about mine.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Michael Bunting of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You've always had the great ability to play with great players.
I think my style of play complements the top dogs, as you will, like kind of go to those harder areas in the corner in front of the net and kind of create space for them and get them the puck and, you know, help them create offense off of that. So kind of found a little niche with that.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stolarz. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore.
Kochetkov making that jump last year. What do you see in the net?
The kid wants it. That's the first thing. Is he going to be the guy that we're looking at this year to get after it and take a bigger role? Maybe. You know, but we still got Freddie in here. I think he's got something to prove. So I think we're going to have a good battle in the net.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Flyers defenseman Travis Sanheim.
Is it a rebuild type thing? Is it definitely a playoff team in your mind?
I think last season, I don't know if anyone in our room was saying rebuild. We thought that we could surprise some teams, and I think we did that. A lot of guys that are coming back, and then obviously adding Meat Scott's going to be huge. So, we're looking forward to getting started and seeing if we can build off of last season.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM. Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL final. That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City. Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern. And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Again to Riley. Far point. Now to Marner. Marner trying to find Nylander, and then a shot scores! The pass was partially blocked, and John Tavares got it, and from a similar spot that Larkin scored, John Tavares scores to give the Leafs the lead, 2-1.
And that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com. Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. And Bonesy nailed it. Both those 2 goals in the period. Both power plays. Both eerily similar.
Yes, special teams being special. The first one with Detroit with Larkin with a bit of under pressure there with 3 guys converging on him, finding a way to pick the corner. And Stolarz has obviously been great. Only 6 shots that period. But again, you almost have to make a perfect shot, and he potted it top shelf there too. And a couple minutes later on the power play, Marner getting the puck through. It was a little bit of a bouncing puck, and just that hand-eye coordination by Tavares getting it and then turning around and firing it home too. But what I liked about that too was it was almost like a double stack. You had John Tavares in front, Nyes in front as well too. So that double stack man, draw that conversion in front of the net there to put it home to make it 2-1.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. That's one of the adjustments in the power play. Nyes is there on the power play. He's in the goalie's face on a regular basis.
Yes, and the last 2 games he's been in on pretty much every single power play goal, and it's just his presence there. And what it does, it just keeps the goalie on edge. And when you have that presence, it forces him maybe to move back in his crease to try to get a little bit better positioning to spot that puck too. But when you're there and you have that. It's not just the big body presence. It's the fact that if he gets that puck, he's got great hands and tight. So that goalie now is sort of worried. Yeah, I got to make that first shot, but those second and third opportunities against a player like Nyes, he can pot it home. So for me, a little bit ticky-tacky, back and forth. I called it slapstick hockey, where it's a little bit back and forth, a couple of neutral zone turnovers. But taking that into the second intermission, up 2-1. It's a win right now and a net positive for Craig Berube and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy with the way things are. The Leafs should be, but I mean, it's one of those games where you want to step on their throat at some point, right?
You have to, right? Because we've seen games in the past where it's a bad bounce or a bad penalty call and it ends up in your net. So, again, they have the opportunity where the game can go either way. But what I like about it, the power play and the specialty teams are being special. That penalty kill goal that they let in was their first penalty goal against in 17 opportunities.
Wow.
So their specialty teams have been really, really good. So look for them now to put it home. And yes, it would be great to be a power play goal, but again, I'd like to see the third line get rewarded. They've been up and down the whole entire game, creating havoc, creating opportunities. We saw Ryan Reeves get sprung in for almost a goal as well, too. So it's a great team effort through 40 minutes.
So the stat is 6 shots on goal apiece. I mean, I thought the Leafs would be a little more dominant that way.
Yeah, the game opened up, but the neutral zone just seemed back and forth. You saw the Maple Leafs trying to make some slick passes in their zone. They turned it over and ended up being a penalty on one neutral zone turnover. So if I'm Craig Berube, I'm like, hey, we got to manage the puck a little bit better. We got to manage those neutral zone turnovers and just manage the game a little bit better. So for them, yeah, you want to come back and not take your foot off the gas, maybe get 6, 7, 8 shots preferably 10 or more. But for me, it wasn't really. It was going both ways, where they're sort of sleeping and not really having their foot on the gas through that neutral zone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of skating, obviously, and there's. I find Detroit is not very sharp with the puck. It drops off the stick or weird passes.
Bad ice, maybe. I don't know.
I think the Leafs are much better.
Yeah.
So, having said that, who caught your eye for the Leafs so far?
I think Mitch Marner, and he's elevated his game since the absence of Austin Matthews, and just his confidence, right? And I think sometimes he's said it before, where he almost defers to Matthews, or he's trying to find him on weird areas and not make the right play, but the better play. But without Matthews in the lineup, he's skating directly, he's making plays, he's not afraid to shoot the puck, and he's just creating left, right, and center. So every time he's on the ice, you notice him. If it was for a couple of better bounces, I think he'd have another 2 or 3 scoring opportunities. He's been all over the ice, all over through 40 minutes. Same thing with Nylander. He's being involved in the game. But I really like that third line as a whole. They're skating. They're urgent. They're getting in on the forecheck. They're turning pucks over. So I'd like to see them get rewarded, because they've earned a goal since that one was turned over in the first couple minutes of the first.
I got my season-long scoreboard out, and I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a game that we've had before that matches this one. This is kind of a one-off, isn't it?
In what regards?
Well, and like there seems to be like just a lack of physical play. I mean, Detroit's sort of lulling them to sleep. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so it's a track meet, but it's almost like it's the 1500, where they're just pacing themselves, right? So if I'm Toronto, I don't manage it. Maybe the steeplechase. I don't mind it, because Toronto's got a game tomorrow. And again, they are sleepy at times, but the turnovers aren't killing them. But again, I think if they come out and have a good 5-6 minutes, they could put this game away. But what you don't want, get a little bit lazy and you get a tripping call or a slashing or a hooking or a needless stick penalty. The momentum hasn't been guaranteed for the Leafs right now. So I think that start to the period is key. And I think Detroit will say, you know what, we'll pack it up and go watch the Hall of Fame ceremonies and call it a night.
I think really what I'm saying is this is more Detroit's game in terms of how it's being played than it is Toronto's.
Yeah, and that's Detroit's system, right?
Yeah.
And again, I don't think they have the natural talent that Toronto does. And, that coach is coming from Tampa Bay, where, again, they're very, very well coached. They know the system and they stick to it. And I think for them, they're just waiting for an opportunity, maybe for Toronto to turn a puck over or make a big, big mistake.
And yet, it's Toronto 2, Detroit 1 after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Ready to shop the Sephora savings event? I was born ready. Let's do this. What are you getting at the biggest beauty event of the year?
Summer Fridays lip balm, Charlotte Tilbury foundation, Rare Beauty blush, and a Kylie parfum.
Okay, I see you.
Your turn.
Definitely a Valentino fragrance, Way shampoo and conditioner, anything Paula's choice, and a Moroccan oil hair treatment.
Everything is on sale during the Sephora savings event. Rouge members get early access on November 1st. VIBN insiders start saving November 5th. Offers end November 11th, only at Sephora. Shop in-store or online at sephora.ca.
This winter, keep your golf game on track. The new TrackMan range is at Metro Golf Sportsplex. 45 mats with TrackMan technology analyze your swings and ball speed on big TV screens. Play games like Closest to the Pin or challenge the world's premier courses. Coming soon, new TrackMan IO golf simulators and full motion flight simulator. Metro Golf Sportsplex. 70,000 square feet of climate-controlled facilities and no off-season. On Milner, just a short drive and 9-iron from McCowan and the 401. Check out MetroGolfSportsplex.com.
Do you have the right ingredients to make the cut? CTV is firing up a new season of MasterChef Canada. This is your chance. Put your culinary skills to the ultimate test. Go to ctv.ca/MasterChef Canada and apply now. Casting closes November 17th.
The housing crisis in the GTA has reached a critical point, with more than 2 in 3 residents being affected.
Reporting that almost 9 million Canadians are living in food-insecure households.
Over 1 million people in the GTA now live below the poverty line.
Just out today, mental health support is the #1 reason people are calling 211 for assistance.
At United Way, we wake up to a different alarm every day. Help us end poverty and build a better GTA any way we can. Donate today at unitedwaygt.org.
Walmart is your one-stop holiday shop for merry low prices. And right now, you can make your holidays even brighter with a 100-count box of indoor and outdoor holiday lights for only $8.98. Walmart. Save money. Live better.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town for a great new Tundra or RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have. Penguins and Capitals tied at 2 late in the second period. Crosby has an assist. Ovi off the score sheet so far. Later tonight, Wild and Anaheim against the Ducks and the Golden Knights in Seattle against the Kraken. Trade. We have a trade. Vancouver sending Daniel Sprong to Seattle for future considerations. In our game, it's 2-1 Leafs over the Wings after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The third period is next on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey, TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
It's hold up! It's Jimmy Fallon, and you're invited to my place for Christmas. Get ready for a new channel of classic holiday songs handpicked by me. Plus music from my new Christmas album, Holiday Season. Jimmy Fallon's Holiday Seasoning Radio. On now, channel 17, or listen at home with the SiriusXM app. Just search Jimmy Fallon.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does, Doughty does, Stone does. And if you don't have enough of those players, get rid of them, because they'll make you lose. They'll frustrate the fan base. I want people that are with me, rowing in the same direction. And if you can't, get out of town. We'll find someone who can.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM. Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final. That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City. Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern. And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Maple Leafs lead the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 2-1 as John Tavares and Mitch Marner have scored goals, both of them on the power play. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph, Cameron Moore running the operation. Matthew Cardadero is back at Command Central. And for some ungodly reason, we have Paul Gatt pinch hitting. He's usually down the hall ruining the visitors' broadcast.
Which we encourage.
We do. Instead, he's here ruining ours, which is...
And yet we keep helping him.
We do what we can. We do what we can.
How about this? We mentioned, we mentioned Dylan Larkin came into the game leading the NHL with 5 power play goals. That has now gone to 6. The last Detroit Red Wing player to lead the National Hockey League in power play goals the 96-97 season and the forward had 20. Brendan Shanahan.
Wow.
I hope these cards he gives me with all that stuff stand on the... I hope it's right. I really do.
But as long as you give credit,
yeah,
it's not our fault if it's wrong.
Yeah, it's blame if it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's credit if it's right.
That's right. And if it's right, people forget that you got it from somebody. They think it came from you.
And if it's wrong, you contact Stan at 519.
Well, he found out that there were 4 back-to-back-to-back games with original 16. Who would find that out? How would you find it? So, well, why? You think I'm wrong? No, I'm not looking it up. How would I know? All right, Leafs to the right as the puck is dropped, and the Leafs win the faceoff. The Wings are to the left as it's flipped out at center ice. Domi tried to one-hand it into the zone but failed. And the puck is knocked away, and the Red Wings will play it to the line and just get it in. And the Leafs are going to quickly just play it out. It has been a somewhat non-eventful game. As I said, there were just 12 shots in the second period, 6 apiece. So there wasn't a lot of flurry around the net.
No, and all 3 goals coming on power plays.
Brought to center ice now by Lucas Raymond. In on the left wing, it was Alex DeBrincat. Played in around the boards to the near side. Riley pushed it back at the net. Comper was there trying to center, and Nylander got back to help him out. And now tries to punch it out at center ice, and the Wings are able to keep it in. Down the left wing boards and into the corner for Ben Sherratt. Around back of the net, Sherratt carries to the near wing. Back to the point to Justin Hall. He sends it in wide of the net, almost hitting the official in the corner. Comes back to the point. Sherratt with a shot that went wide. Hall pinches on the right side. Got it back to Raymond. Raymond to Sherratt. Shot in traffic, deflected wide of the Leaf net. Back to the blue line, but it's going to be intercepted. And brought out by Nyes. Nyes to Nylander. Nylander just shovels it in for Tavares. Tavares down into the corner. And can't come up with it. And Hall will work up on the left wing and carry it to center before getting pasted there by Max Pacioretty. Brought out now by Pontus Holmberg up ahead for McMahon. Sent around back of the net. Robertson was hoping that the puck would get past the goaltender. It didn't. Wings have gotten it back out at center ice. Pontus Holmberg up ahead for Bobby McMahon. Right wing side and into the zone it goes. McMahon shovels it around back of the net. Robertson trying to chip it along and has to keep it to the point. McCabe kept it in for him. Now McMahon against the boards on the near side. Centers. Quick shot by Holmberg went wide of the net. Robertson in the far corner. Knocked down but is able to keep the puck in, and a shot went wide of the goal again from Pontus Holmberg. Back of the net. Holmberg trying to come out with it. McMahon into the near corner. Drags the puck along. McCabe helps him out. McCabe in tight quarters, back of the net. Holmberg couldn't trap it, but goes to the far corner. Frees it up there. The Leafs doing a nice job of cycling. Here's Robertson coming out of the corner. Back to the point. McCabe thought about going D to D, then sent it in wide of the net. Centering pass in front of the goal and a shot. And that was stopped by Talbot. Leafs third line doing a great job here. Pontus Holmberg in the near corner. Leafs are getting a change of players going. Holmberg still with it. Plays it in around back of the goal to the far side for Reeves. Reeves pins it there. Uses his size to protect the puck nicely. Set in then for Steven Lorentz. Lorentz getting it back to the point. D to D it comes to Riley. Riley sending it around back of the net for Reeves. Reeves dumped it into the left wing corner. Camp was able to shovel it back into a crowd in the corner. The Leafs have had the puck down in the Detroit zone for the better part of about 2 minutes here. Back to the point. Kept alive by Toronto. Fed into the slot area. No shot yet. Down into the corner now for Camp. Camp coming to the net. Tried to play it in front of the goal. It was blocked. Comes back to the blue line. Lorentz filling in there. Got it back to Camp with a shot. And it's going to be smothered here by Talbot. But a pretty good shift back to back. 2 minutes and 22 seconds for Casper to be on the ice.
Yeah, all 5 that are on the ice for the Red Wings were over 2 minutes during that last shift. So
last two shifts.
Yeah, so Cam Talbot, one shift for them. But Cam Talbot might have been the biggest save of the night simply because he was able to hold on and get a whistle and get that tired group off.
Face-off is controlled by the Leafs, but then they lose the puck. The Red Wings are going to get it down into the Toronto zone. Icing waved off. Benoit has to skate to the puck and then backhands it up on the wing. Now Tavares battles at the blue line but can't get it out the first time, and then while he was on the seat of his pants, he was able to poke the puck another 3 feet and get it out. Now it's center ice, Nylander. Couldn't come up with it. Red Wings sent it back into the Toronto zone. Connor Timmins skates it out. Didn't get the pass that he wanted, and it turns into an icing. And so it'll come back into the Toronto zone. Circle to the right of Anthony Stolarz, who has faced 14 Detroit shots. And in the last 2 games, he's given up just 1 goal.
5-on-5, his numbers, Joe, have been outstanding. Trying to think of where I saw that now, but goals against and save percentage 5-on-5. He has just been lights out and has not given up a regular strength goal here tonight.
Domi's wrist shot goes off a stick and up into the screen. So a face-off coming in the Red Wing zone. Ever think Max will get his teeth fixed?
No. That's part of his character.
Yeah.
It was like Bobby Clark.
No. It's like Mike Foligno's nose.
Yeah.
He always said, you know, when I finish playing, I'm going to get my nose fixed. I said, Mike, no one will know who you are.
That's true.
He could smell things around a corner.
How many times did he break it?
I don't know, but it was like that in junior hockey when we were on the bus with the Wolves. So that happened fairly early on in his career, I believe. Leafs with the puck back in their own zone. And then somebody out there in the radio is going, hey, Bowen, why don't you take a look in the mirror and see what you look like? I couldn't agree with him more.
Well, it's different because Mike's not here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, if you can't have fun with people who aren't here, who can you have fun with? Puck down into the Detroit zone. Punched into the corner. Robertson comes out of it. A little elusive move there. Brings it back to the front of the net. Can't get a shot. Again in the corner with it once more. Tackled. 5 feet in front of the official, but no call. Drop pass for McMahon and a shot that didn't reach the front of the net. Robertson has it again. Here's another great move. Works back at the goal. Now came out in front and it rolled off his stick before he could get a shot. What a great shift by Nick Robertson. McMahon with room on the left wing gets in over the line, then plays it in behind the Red Wing goal. The puck comes up on the wing. Robertson needs to get off. He's been on for a while, but the Wings are bringing the puck into the Toronto zone. Down and around the boards to the near side. Pontus Holmberg couldn't come up with it. Patrick Kane to the far side for Gustafsson. Back to Kane. Kane works back to the blue line, drops it off there. Johansson goes around back of the net, tries to center it front. Oh, and that went off a leg in front of the goal. Great scoring chance there for Berggren. And it went off a leg and Karen wide of the net. Wings bring it right back in again. Tarasenko, one hand back of the net. Tries to work it off the end boards. Crowd develops, and David Camp comes out of the crowd with the puck and plays it out at center ice. And a glove pass. Has stopped play exactly 7 minutes into period number 3. The Leafs hanging on to a 2-1 lead over the Detroit Red Wings. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Red Wings, a Friday night special. What's the good part about that? We get to do it again tomorrow night, Saturday night, our favorite night of the week, Hockey Night in Canada. Back-to-back Leafs, but tonight it's the Red Wings. We got to take out Detroit. Cheers to two resident Detroit fans that have been hanging out here on TSI for a very long time. Klomp as well as Shroom. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Now, please make sure you've hit that like button down below, and then please share the link so we can get more people like Klomp and Shroom here in the chat, having a good time, hanging out with us, making a difference in the real world. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's beat the Red Wings. Let's keep it rolling.
One in the SiriusXM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM. Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL final. That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City. Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern. And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Face off in the center ice zone. Leafs leading 2-1.
All 3 goals on the power play. Putting Mitch Marner's 3rd overall and John Tavares is number 6. On the season.
Hey, I'm going to be out at the International Center out at the airport signing autographs on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm usually at the mall Sundays, 2 to 4.
Oh, okay. I'm big at the flea markets.
No, I'm not going back, I don't think. It's so hard to get people to stop.
Puck back of the Detroit goal, or the Leafs goal, and the Red Wings are going to misplay it out at center ice.
Even when I explain who I am.
Yeah.
They still didn't seem to be a lot of interest.
Down into the corner, far side. Reeves unable to get to it. It pokes into the near corner. Grabbed off by Rasmussen. Back of the net. Wraparound attempt to the side of the goal. Comes out in front. The Leafs had a lot of bodies there to making sure it didn't get to the net. Puck to the point again. Rasmussen with a shot wide. Rebound near side, and the Leafs are going to get it to the line and out with a pass that is too far for Reeves, and the Leafs are going to change of players going. Red Wings back in their own zone. We played 8 minutes. Leafs 2, Red Wings 1. A long shoot in off the glass and into the zone. Cut off there by Jake McCabe. Fed ahead for Pacioretty. Saucered ahead for Tavares. He got it to the line. It's a delayed offside. He tags up. Red Wings have possession in their own zone. Sherratt gets it to center, and it's going to be backhanded into the Toronto end. Reversed along the boards then for Tavares, and he starts up the right wing. Tavares overskated the puck. The Leafs are able to punch it out at center, and Tavares has it there. Nylander is with him. Tavares in on the left wing looking for a pass, and it hit a skate. The rebound into the near corner. Nylander couldn't come up with it. Hall taken to the boards. Nylander gets the puck free back for Tavares. Tavares with a shot, and it was deflected wide, and I don't think Morgan Riley even saw that, and it went right by his ear and out at center ice. Hit a stanchion or something and came off at a crazy angle.
He almost jumped, I think, when he heard it off the glass just to his left.
Now Riley trying to send it in. Has it go off a stick and up into the screen. And a face-off coming. Where are they going to have this? Outside the blue line with 10:49 to play in the 3rd period. A reminder that tomorrow night, again, we're back with you. And it is the Montreal Canadiens in town to tangle with the Leafs for the 2nd time this season.
You mentioned all the original 6 teams coming in. I like this one from our buddy Stan. Eric Gustafsson is the only active player to play for 5 of the original 6 teams in NHL. It's only the Boston Bruins he's not played for. Of course, he was here briefly. It was the Rasmus Sandin deal that brought him over from the Washington Capitals.
Icing call here against Toronto.
Tyler Bertuzzi, I believe, is 4. Red Wings, Leafs, Bruins, and now the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know if that's interesting to the players, but for us, it's kind of
for us because we're older.
Yeah,
we remember the original 6 teams. Draw to the right of Stolarz. Draw one by Detroit. Kept in along the boards and into the corner. Domi got there first. Max gets it ahead. Nyes punches it to the line and out, and now it's down into Detroit territory. Racing after it was Nyes. Goaltender Talbot came out to clear it. Played back into the Toronto zone. Stolarz couldn't trap it back of the net, but now Timmins unable to find a man, and then a centering pass went right by Kane and comes all the way to center ice. Seider, right wing side Larkin, off his stick. Nyes battles for it against the boards and is able to launch it high into neutral ice. Leafs have done a pretty good job of throwing up a wall of defense as it's cleared in now by Pontus Holmberg. Down in the corner was McMahon. He was knocked down. Red Wings start back at center with Kane. Former Blackhawk sends it down into the Leaf zone. Head around the boards for Toronto and back of the net for Timmins. Quickly ahead for Robertson. Robertson in on the right side. Dropping it back now, and a shot is blocked, and the rebound was fed wide of the goal off the stick of Holmberg. Back to the point, Riley with a shot. That's why the rebound far side, and McMahon couldn't get over there quickly enough. Puck back in over the line, and McMahon has kept it in. McMahon muscles into the corner, knocked down on the play by Johansson. Along the boards, Robertson has stopped it from escaping. Now has it knocked off his stick, and the Red Wings just get rid of it high to the Leaf blue line. Timmins stepping up at center. Played it off on the wing that Nylander couldn't reach it. Now Nylander backhands down into Detroit territory. 8:42 left to play in the third. Puck in the corner for Tavares, and now back of the net goes the Toronto native. Playing in around the boards on the right wing side, and it'll be cut off by Lucas Raymond. The Red Wings get it down to the Leaf blue line, but not much further. Right back at center. Brought on now on the left wing by Pacioretty. Veteran sends a long shoot in. It is an easy catch for Talbot, and he decides to stop play. For the faceoff coming in the Red Wings zone when we return. Leafs 2, Red Wings 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Red Wings trailing the Maple Leafs 2-1. As the Leafs have gotten goals from Marner and Tavares. Larkin scoring for Detroit, all 3 goals on the power play. Nick Robertson had a goal called back by video review in the first period.
The shots, you mentioned the second period were 6-6.
Yep.
Here in the third.
Oh, good. Is it better?
The shots are 2-1. Favoring the Leafs here in the third with 8:21 to go.
Your career would have lasted a lot longer if you'd had defense like this.
At least 3 to 5 months. I got to be realistic. You know, a lot of damage. I've seen a lot of damage done at my end on 18 shots.
Place hit over the line and into the Red Wing zone, but it's going to be called offside.
See, that either meant your rebound control was real good, Or a lot of face-offs at center.
That's one way to get the puck out of your end.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Next time you yell out, get a whistle. I want to think twice.
Mr. Ralph?
Yes.
When I said get a whistle. Domi loses the face-off. Red Wings have it in their own zone. Pushed in over the line, and Jake McCabe is back. And around back of the net, McCabe got it to Domi, who didn't get it out. A turnover here for Patrick Kane. Kane on the left wing half boards, tries to flip it in front of the net and deflects to the far corner. Marner reverses the puck to Chris Tanev. Tanev loses the disc, but he gets some assistance here from McCabe, and McCabe can't get it out, and the puck is still in the Toronto zone. All of this on a turnover as Domi now tries to get it out and can't. To the blue line, just kept in by Detroit. Into the slot and a shot, blockered away nicely by Stolarz, who's really been a kind of a forgotten figure back there until then. As you mentioned, it had only one shot. Leafs get it down into the Red Wing zone. Round back of the net to the far side, kept in by Reeves. David Camp works back of the net, up against the boards. Reeves arrives, knocked the stick out of the hands of Tarasenko, but couldn't come up with the puck. And the Red Wings get it out at center, and the Leafs have it again. Here's Lorenz, and across the line. Steven Lorenz with a weak backhand off a stick that went wide of the net. Camp keeps it in and around back of the goal. Too far for Lorenz, and the Red Wings get it up on the left wing, and Berggren gets it to the Leaf blue line, but it's turned over there. The coaching staff have just got to be rubbing their hands over there. This, right now, is as well of protecting a lead that the Leafs have played this year, but there's still time left. 6:26. Red Wings in with a pass to the near side. Tarasenko centers. That deflects, and it is gone all the way back at center ice again.
Boy, Tarasenko was wide open because Bobby McMahon fell in behind the play, and that gave some open ice up.
A drop pass. Shot that was partially blocked. Leafs have it again out at center for McMahon. He launches it high into the right wing corner. Pontus Holmberg couldn't get it around back of the net. And Fisher for Detroit gets it out at center ice. Off a stick, it'll deflect down into the Leaf zone. In goes Jake McCabe, trying to protect that with his skates. Got it to Nylander. Nylander skating out of his own zone with a pass ahead. Couldn't get it into the zone. Red Wings counter and bring it right back in with a long shot that Stolarz had no difficulties with. Nylander in the far corner, but the Red Wings get it back to the point. Long shot in traffic, high and wide of the Leaf goal. Chopped at there by Tavares. Tavares against the boards, trying to work it free for Nylander. It does come free, and Tanev back of the net now with a pass for Pacioretty, and he just gets it down into Detroit territory to allow another change, and that's eaten up about a minute and a half. 5:12 to play in the period.
Eventually the
turnover here for Tavares.
Eventually the Red Wings are going to have to start gambling. Defense pinching or trying to join the rush, trying to get some kind of offense going here late.
And on the left wing, and a big hit there by Benoit. Straightened up Berggren. The puck in the near corner. Robertson can't come up with it. Sider to his defense partner. A shot in traffic! Oh, down is Stolarz. How did he stop that? There's a scramble going on. Where's the puck? And it's covered up by Stoli, the goalie.
Boy, this is a late whistle, too. Stolarz ended up dropping his blocker and his stick and grabbing it with his bare hand. We're obviously going to look at this. It was after the puck came off the backboards and out to Kopp. And Kopp tried to slide it in, and somehow in spectacular fashion, Stolarz does the splits. Gets that left pad down across the goal line, and no, we did not see the puck squeeze across. But that was a really late whistle. And Stolarz keeps the Leafs up by 1.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The NASCAR Championship is on the line, and SiriusXM will take you to the track for every thrilling turn.
1, 2, 3 cars crashing and colliding.
Sunday at 2 Eastern. 4 drivers enter with equal points, and the highest finisher takes the crown.
This is Joey Logano.
This is Tyler Reddick.
Hey, it's William Byron.
This is Ryan Blaney. And driver-to-crew chatter puts you in the car for every lap.
Let's go get a championship, baby!
The NASCAR Cup Series Championship live from Phoenix. Listen on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
This is the NHL. These are pros. You don't want guys to put good power play units on, don't take penalties. You don't want good power play units to score goals when you've given up a whole bunch, kill them. You don't like it, do something about it. If you want to reward your guys who had a good game with a chance to get some more goals and points, do it. If I was a coach, I wouldn't care. Who cares? Worry about your own team. Don't worry about mine.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your...
What's up, Insiders? How we doing? The third period. Let's go, buds. Let's get it. It's a tight one tonight, but we've got this. I have faith. Thank you to the Super Chats and the new members, the recent ones that I just added to the list. Mike St. John, thank you very much for the Super Chat. Go Leafs, go. One of the best live game streams on YouTube. Mike, thank you. Those words are amazing. I appreciate it, and that's what I'm trying to do, man. Trying to make it an awesome place for everybody to hang out. Also, big shout out to Zip and Lucius for the support. Thank you. Welcome to the new members, Richard B, Darren E, and Rick S. Rick Smith with the link as well. Got to get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Let's finish this one strong. Come on, chant it up, spam it up. Let's go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
His real hand.
Wow. Holding it up like one of the scenes from The Lion King. It is time.
It is time. Round back of the net. Domi into the corner for Tanev. Tanev gets it out into center ice. 4:25 to go. We'll keep an eye on Cam Talbot. Not sure when Derek Lalonde will want to go with the extra attacker or not. The Leafs get the puck out at center, and Nyes takes a hit but gets the puck down into the Detroit zone. Round on the boards to the far side, and the Leafs are really in the prevent defense here as it's pushed out at center ice by DeBrincat. Over on the right wing side for Patrick Kane. Dropped off for Seider and a shot. Save made, but Marner was there in perfect position to gather up the rebound and get it out at center. Red Wings counter again. Right wing side to DeBrincat. Left wing side and a shot. That was stopped. The rebound was knocked wide of the Leaf goal. Morgan Riley with a chance to clear. He'll get it ahead and pushed out at center ice. And then it is Pacioretty sending it the rest of the way into the zone. 3:33 to play. Out at center ice for Detroit. Back down into the Toronto end. Round back of the net. It is Timmins getting it ahead for Tavares on the right side for Nylander with a shot. And it's into the chest of Cam Talbot, which will bring a face-off deep in Detroit territory with 3:18 to play here in the third period.
Really starting to open up now. Shots are 5-3 here in the third with 3:18 to go. Red Wings a little more aggressive on the forecheck. And the Leafs have coughed the puck up a couple of times here later in the third period that have led to some scoring opportunities.
But boy, you really can't be too critical of the way they have played this,
God, no. No, but I mean, this is just the natural progression of a team that's behind, yeah.
Pass in front of the net. Well played by Timmins to knock it to the far boards. Got it ahead for Pontus Holmberg. And he gingerly plays it into Detroit territory to bring another change of players, and 3 minutes left to play in the third period. Played in over the line by Raymond. Into the corner, broken up there by Tanev, and a shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Grabbed off on the near side. Marner carrying to center, chips it in over the line, slides by one check, gets into the corner after it, but can't come up with it. Red Wings then turn the puck over, and Nyes will send it deeper into Detroit territory. It's a battle of feet and zones right now with 2.5 minutes, and I would think that Cam Talbot will be on his way to the bench here very shortly. Wings get the puck to center, and it's deflected into the Toronto end. Talbot remains in the net. Punched around the boards, then on a shot. Stopped by Stolarz at the side of the goal. Back of the net into the corner now. The Red Wings now with it as it comes back to the point. Seider over on the left wing side, holding in a shot. That was deflected wide. Tarasenko in the corner, back to the blue line. Now to Seider once more. Seider dropping it off. Berggren trying to get a shot away. It comes back to Seider. The goaltender still on the ice. Shot blocked again. Leafs get it to Nyes, and he launches it high out and down into Red Wing territory. 1:48 to play. And Talbot remains in the net. I'm surprised he wasn't lifted while that flurry was going on down in the Toronto end.
Maybe just Lalonde wanted to
now
get
he's going.
the number one guys on the ice, and they're out there now.
And a turnover here for the Leafs, and they're going to score! Tavares into the empty net!
The Red Wings had it inside their own blue line, tried to drop it for Dylan Larkin, but John Tavares intercepts it just inside the Red Wing line and quickly spins and slides it all the way into the empty net. It was Moritz Seider that tried a little drop pass to Dylan Larkin, and it was John Tavares that jumps on it. Tavares had an empty netter for a 3-goal game in Winnipeg and has another empty netter here in a multi-goal game against the Red Wings. Leafs haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal since St. Louis a week ago. Power play goal in Minnesota.
And then at that point, they couldn't score anything but a 5-on-5
goal. In Minnesota, then 3 power play goals and an empty netter against Boston. And here we go, 2 power play goals and another empty netter here tonight.
So the Maple Leafs trying to go 8-5-2 for 18 points. And their 6th win on home ice here at Scotiabank Arena.
And these, I mean, you know, we talk about original 6 games, but important games in the sense that...
In your division, right?
Yeah, there's...
Your division, your conference.
You know, we could always talk about the losses to the Boston Bruins. The Leafs have never had home ice in those playoff series against Boston. And maybe it does make a difference for a game or two. So that's, even though you're playing games in October, points get tallied up by the end of the season.
Talbot's heading out of the goal again. The Red Wings have it back in their own zone. Kane dishes off on the left wing. 6 attackers on for Detroit. Lucas Raymond in on the right side, got pasted to the boards there on a good hit by Jake McCabe. Domi couldn't get it to his winger on the side. A sharp angle shot stopped by Stolarz. Now a point shot fake there by Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets it back to the point. Raymond with it. Near side for Kane. Mishandles the puck. Played around back of the net. Swept by the Red Wings off the stanchion. They play it into the slot area to Kane. Kane holds, doesn't shoot. Kane at the top of the circle. Still with it. Rink-wide pass. Deflected off the stick of Raymond. Raymond in the corner. The Leafs doing a nice job here, but don't get it out. Leafs say it was out, but the linesman didn't call it. Oh, and a pad save made by Stolarz on a point or a shot from the slot. Back to the blue line and another shot. Deflects wide. The rebound near side. Grabbed off now by Nyes. Ahead it goes for Domi. And he made an errant pass, just getting it through center ice. 4 seconds left.
I think he was looking for Mitch Marner.
I think he was too, and the game is over. Maple Leafs are on a bit of a roll as they beat the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 3-1. And everything that you wanted from this team when the new coaching staff arrived was better goaltending, better defense, better penalty killing. We'll work on the offense later.
And, you know, I'm thinking here in the third period, nothing's going on. And that's really good for the team that's got the lead. And I think so many times, not to overanalyze or be hypercritical, but so many times in the last few years, the Leafs have a 2-1 lead in the third period and think it's not enough. Let's leave the zone a little early. Let's take a little chance. And, you know, between Craig Berube and the players that Bradford Living has brought in, they're buying into this, and it's easier to buy into something when you start having success. We saw in a 3-game stretch where they got away from it, Sort of went back to the bad habits, old habits, but what we've seen in the last 2 or 3 games, and starts and finishes with the goaltender as well.
So the period was brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. Post-game show coming your way. Jim Chatty and Anthony Stewart. The Leafs win 3-1. Join us tomorrow night when Les Bleu Blanc et Rouge arrive in town. The Leafs and the Canadians. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Detroit Lions look as if they are the best football team in the NFC.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Saints' Dennis Allen has been relieved of his head coaching duties.
The expectations of every year, that franchise has pride.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Ravens running back Derrick Henry. You embrace every single challenge. One thing I love about this whole organization.
Nobody covers the game like SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does.
Go, Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go. What a win. Beautiful. The Leafs beat the Wings. Cheers to Klomp and Shroom for the Detroit, the Detroit win here for our buds. God, I need to fix this green screen. I need to get a new studio, guys. This is messed up. But hey,
it's the dog's fault.
It is the dog's fault. There's a dog right here eating food right behind me. This is miserable. But one day we're going to get something better. Andrew Hurd, Shroom, roll 6 of 6 dice. Don Donaldson, Stefan, Richard Fewer, Rick Smith, Lucius, Ice X, man, Victoria, cheers. Thank you for hanging out with us. Jake, there you go. It's a win over a bad Wings team. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss the parade for this one. Jake, that's fine. You missed the parade. We're going to celebrate the win. That's 2 in a row over 2 big rivals. 1 over Boston, a shutout, might I add. And then this one here tonight. I'm having fun. We're having fun in the chat. Jake, you're the man. Cheers, man. We're going to see you for that Argos game, right? Tomorrow, Argos and the Alouettes. Live right here on TSI. All the CFL playoff games tomorrow, so the Western Final as well. They're getting ready to do more post-game here, and the dogs are trying to get... Oh, there's the big guy. Here he is. John, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Come here. Look at... Get up here. John, come here. Get up here. No, he's not going to jump. He won't jump. Whatever. There you go. You can see him a little bit. But anyways, thank you for the support tonight. We're going to get back to the post-game. I will let it run, and then I am going to send you to the LAFC versus Vancouver Whitecaps soccer game, MLS Cup playoffs on my soccer channel, running right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. Cheers, Insiders. We'll see you tomorrow all day and tomorrow night with the Leafs. And, God, yes, Montreal. Hockey night in Canada. Toronto, Montreal. It's going to be a lot of fun. Spacky, Richard Fewer, Brad Smith, Danny Dansoy in the Philippines, Dr. Dupree. I love it, man. Dr. Dupree in the chat. Good to see you. And Andrew Hurd. Love it, man. David Chimenti. All right, I think the commercial break is finally going to be over here for letting the post-game run. Let's see what they got to say. Big day, Toronto, Montreal tomorrow, Steph. Yeah, you're going to be cheering for the Owls and the Leafs, huh? How's that work? All right, we'll see. All right, going back to the post-game that's literally silence right now.
The Leafs live here.
Maple Leafs are on a bit of a roll as they beat the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 3-1. And everything that you wanted from this team when the new coaching staff arrived was better goaltending, better defense, better penalty killing. We'll work on the offense later.
And that sums it up rather nicely. That's Bonesy with the final thoughts as the game ended. 3-1 Toronto wins over Detroit. Hall of Fame night. Welcome back to Scotiabank Arena. Leafs game night. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. And Ralphie kind enough to hang around. And Ralphie, you could analyze it's a win, so you're not going to be too harsh. Some moments in the third period you may not have liked defensively, but you knew that Stolarz was there, and he was rock solid again. Yeah, and you were expecting the push from the Red Wings as well. So yeah. I think... when you look at it, I think at one point, there was about 8.5 minutes to go in the third period. The shots were 2-1 Toronto. And that is part of the transition of this team, of what you want to see. This was a horribly boring game. And they win 3-1. Yeah. And that's what you better start appreciating is the result, maybe more so than the method. And I'll give my son credit for this because we had this conversation and what the Leafs are doing. And he said, look at the Florida Panthers when Paul Maurice took over. The year before, they won the President's Trophy. They were the highest scoring team in the league. Paul Maurice comes in. We're going to change things. They weren't nearly as exciting. It took them a long time. And they were very fortunate to get in that year because Pittsburgh lost to Chicago at home. So they made the playoffs, go on the run. Playing this way, go to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose. We know what happened last year. And there are a lot of similarities here. So we don't have the 6-7 goal output, but now you're seeing the way guys are playing with a 2-1 lead in the third period. In other years, and not to beat the analysis to death, 2-1 wouldn't have been enough. Right. Let's get 3. Let's leave the zone a little early. Let's maybe, if we don't come all the way back, there'll be a turnover, I'll get a breakaway. And Craig Berube has done an outstanding job of hammering this home. It's a lot easier to buy into it when you're having success. And to me, that's what they've been able to do. They're not nearly as much fun to watch, but it would be nice to be doing games in June.
So you heard it here first, Ralphie calling a Stanley Cup win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But, yeah, in an 82-game season, right, you need a couple easy wins, and we've seen some of those wins last year where they've had to come back and play 6-on-4 for 3 minutes, and you need those easy wins. So, yes, it was 2-1 for most of the game, but there was no sense that the game was for Detroit's taking, right? So It was a boring game, but it was a safe game, and I think it was very, very composed. So the system's starting to kick in, is it not?
Yeah, and it is funny because, like we were saying at the end of the broadcast, the Leafs haven't scored a 5-on-5. They've been very good 5-on-5 coming in. They haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal since St. Louis last Saturday. Overtime goal in the 2-1 loss to Minnesota, 3 power play goals and an empty netter against Boston, 2 power play goals and an empty netter here. That was the one thing that you hoped. I don't think anybody could have predicted by taking Austin Matthews out of the lineup or off the power play that now they were going to finally have success. But you look at the power play goals, it's simple hockey. They get maybe the Nylander one in Minnesota, the cross slot pass from Austin Matthews and the one-timer was the only pretty one. Everything else has been Matthew Nyes, go to the front of the net. Yeah, well, and we'll try to get it there. Yeah. He's there. You see him. Yeah, so there's that simplicity, and I still think there's more balance to be found. I still think, we're going to see the skilled plays. We're going to see where the skilled guys can take over a game on a power play. But I think everything they're doing to this point, you've got to be thrilled with, even if there are going to be some stumbles along the way. Well, and without Austin Matthews. Yeah, that's what I mean, the power play. How do we fix this? Take your best player off. Let's take the best shooter
power
in the league
play 3
out of the lineup. But I think what it might have done as well, a couple of things, but one is it forced them to simplify it a little more. So now you don't have that shot on the right side. You still got Nylander on the left. So what are we going to do? And Matthew Nyes, every goalie's in front of the net. And I know we made the comparison to Zach Hyman early in the season, where last year Zach Hyman, although he's starting to come on now, where you're playing with skilled guys, you've got pretty good hands, you go to the front of the net, look for the deflections, look for the rebounds, and he's been outstanding. I also thought Pontus Holmberg, that third line, I thought was pretty good tonight, with Holmberg, Robertson, and Bobby McMahon. For me, especially Holmberg, I don't know, Stu, you agree with this. Holmberg, I thought, had his best game as far as making plays and making some great decisions.
He had a solid game, too. Bobby McMahon was driving the net. He had an extra gear, too. And The one player I really feel for is Nick Robertson, right? Because, again, it's been some negativity just with regards to how he's been playing, but he was all over the ice tonight.
He scored, too.
Yeah.
Well, for a while.
Yeah. But, again, that third line, we were talking about them sort of creating identity, and that was a step in the right direction for that, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the numbers of the bottom six are not great when you start looking at the production. But again, I think if it comes from your coach and a part of your identity has got to be you don't get scored against. Let's start with that. Then you can worry about the offense later. I think if your third, fourth lines are minus, and remember a year ago, the fourth line was in a lot of trouble, being on the ice for a lot of goals against. So it's defense first, but I mean the fourth line, Steven Lorenz has 3 goals, and that's it for the fourth line. And yet you're saying, you know what, they've had some pretty good shifts. Yeah. On the forecheck, they actually had a great shift in the third period that kept the Red Wing 5 on the ice for over 2 minutes. Leafs were able to get a line change in. So I think a lot of encouraging things. And like I said, it's not the Leafs of the 90s. It's not, Doug Gilmour and Dave Andrechuk. It's not even Matt Sundin or Alexander McGillney. It's a different feel. It's a different look. And the reason being is there's hope for a different result come spring.
I want to go back to Nyes just because when you're in the building, like I love TV coverage, but there's stuff that happens away from the puck. So he's driving to the net. He and Seider are just jostling pretty well every shift. That's not something that the puck's not there, so you're not going to see it on TV coverage, but he's really involved in a lot of those plays.
Well, there was one in the second period, and it might have been just before the power play goal. He came out from behind the net and basically moved Seider out of the way. It wasn't a sharp cross check. It was a push,
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, sorry,
guy, move. Could you move?
It's like, when the guy cuts you off in the Don Valley. That's kind of like it's kind of like what it was. So, there's something about Matthew Nye's game, and I think 15 goals last year, and you thought, man, that total should be higher playing with Matthews and Marner on a regular base, and yet now you're seeing it. Like I know he put on weight in the off season, but he's really become a force. And like Stewie said with Bobby McMahon, if you've got those big, strong, straight line, power forward type guys, you get into a playoff series, they could be huge. And I haven't, as Stewie said, I did not predict a Stanley Cup parade in Toronto. The only reason you wouldn't want it to happen is because of the traffic.
Yeah.
Might be some construction. Maybe the road will be closed.
Take an elevator, helicopter to the rink.
But you're talking like if you go back, Nyes last year was a guy finding his way. This is a guy involved this year in a year's time in everything.
There's some swagger.
Yeah.
There's definitely. The hands are there. I didn't know if I'm not so sure I've seen a transformation with somebody being so much more physical in a year, like from one year to the next. And, a lot of times toughness comes with confidence, physicality comes with confidence, and just like any other part of the game. And maybe that's something that Matthew Nyes has found. I also, what I like is there's not a selfishness to the way they're approaching games. There's not, somebody trying to build point. Even at the very end, Max Domi's got an opportunity at an empty net. Instead, he tries to find Mitch Marner on the far side. I know a lot of people aren't going to notice that or make a big deal of it. Max Domi hasn't scored a goal yet this year, but he's not trying to say, hey, here's my chance, or I can cheat, leave the zone a little early and get my first one. To a man, it seems like the number one goal is you win a hockey game, and whoever scores, that's great. And but again, we can go back to you get this kind of goaltending on a regular basis. It's easier to have that mentality.
Yeah. And to build on that unselfishness, I saw it was Pacioretty was on the bench waiting for his line to come out. His line was actually out there for 40, 50 seconds, and they changed. Pacioretty steps on the ice and then changes right away, where he could say, you know what, I've been sitting on the bench now, I got to get my 30, 40 seconds in. But he had that discipline to say, hey, you know what, the next line's going up. So that's what I'm noticing, just that discipline in the system and that unselfishness. Mitch Marner, another 2 points, goal and assist. He's got now 4 points in his last 2 games in the absence of Austin Matthews. He seems to be elevating and taking his game to a next level, and it's probably been one of the most consistent forwards so far.
I think, Stewie, now we're at, for Marner's 7-game 8-point streak for Marner. Only his second goal during that stretch. But there's, like we said, however this is going to play out with his contract and you will never make a deal where you will get equal value back in one player.
Wow.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. So it's, part of hopefully everybody being better around him is going to elevate his game as well. But you see it on a nightly basis, just these little plays. And every night you see, well, he had 3 points, and you're thinking, boy, he could have had 6 or 7. And some nights it's going to happen where he's going to have the 5, 7, 8 point night when everything goes in.
We had a clip in the pregame where Craig Berube compared him to Pavel Datsyuk. I mean, if you're going to do that, you're not going to let the guy walk, and you're certainly not going to trade him.
No, and it's, like I said, you just won't get value for him. Like we said, you might get a couple of pickup trucks back from the sports car, and they might help you in certain areas, but you're not getting a sports car back.
No, you're not going to win the race.
That's not where I was going. Although I kind of like that better.
Yeah, you can use that. Use that in the next game. Hey, Jimmer, remember you said he's not going to win the race? Yeah.
I just got it.
Well, so it's a different kind of win. It's I don't know how many wins that we've seen over the years where they won this game. This game was problematic for them in the past.
Yeah, and they haven't. Like they've scored a lot of ugly goals. The 3 power play goals against Boston. Like I said, they were a redirection by Mize, a screenshot that went through everyone from Morgan Riley. That's, and I know, Stewie, you and I have talked about this post-game before, that when it comes down to crunch time, it's amazing how many games you will have like this in the playoffs where nothing really happens and it comes down to that bounce or that screenshot or that deflection. And I don't know why we were talking about Nashville losing to Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup final, but I think it was more about old age, and you can't remember where you parked, but you can remember how some goal went in 6-7 years ago. And I remember the game-winning goal was off the backboards on a point shot, and Patrick Hornquist chipped in a rebound off the backboards. It wasn't pretty, but Pittsburgh wins the cup. And point being that we're seeing a lot more of that kind of offense from the Leafs, where it's not highlight reel, but it's effective. And then once you get the break, you really have to like the way they've been defending. Because 3 goals against in the last 3 games.
Ralphie, thanks very much.
All right, I'll text you when I'm home.
Yeah, I'll text you the line so you don't forget it.
Let me know how that 404 is going north.
It'll be a race. Yeah.
Well, you could win it if you have the sports car. Leafs win it 3-1 over Detroit. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This ad isn't funny or overly clever. There's no jingle, witty banter, or talk of some sort of clearance sale. Because like heart disease and stroke, which claim a life every 5 minutes, this message is deadly serious. At Heart and Stroke, we're funding and discovering medical breakthroughs to keep you and your loved ones alive. But we need all the help we can get. Go to heartandstroke.ca today. And together, we'll beat heart disease, beat stroke, and beat as one.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium 1-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 pizza. 2-for-1.
Monday nights are hockey nights. That's right. There's a new exclusive home for the NHL, and it's on Prime. All season long, Prime Monday Night Hockey is delivering unreal plays. That's hockey, baby! And the biggest goals. What a goal! Matthews, McDavid, Crosby, and the NHL's best are ready for Prime. So don't miss it. Prime Monday Night Hockey. It's on Monday. It's on Prime.
Leafs game night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. 3-1, the Leafs win over Detroit. Tavares got the empty netter, and he also had a power play goal, so he's got 7 on the season. Marner opened the scoring with a power play goal, and the goaltending was solid again. Anthony Stolarz stopped 21 of 22. Some key saves late in the game, and here he is post-game. He starts with commenting on the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to be able to be a part of something that's special. It's just to recognize, all those former players, coaches, GMs, and it was a little bit of a wait, but it was worth it. It was kind of cool to experience.
What are the guys doing this time? You had to really put the clamp down at 5-on-5, not just tonight, Anthony, but against Boston too.
I think just the full team commitment to kind of blocking shots, getting sticks and lanes. I mean, you look at our D-core, I think we have to be up there and block shots. I mean, the way they've committed this year has really made my job easier, and I definitely appreciate it. But I think it's just the forwards too, just trying to shut down any plays that teams have. Tonight they were pretty aggressive with their rim outs and coming down the wall, and I thought the wingers did a great job, kind of sealing them off and not letting them get any action.
The other night you were making saves without your stick, and tonight it looked like you made a save without a glove. What's going on there? Anything to make a save?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it takes, right? So late in the game like that, I kind of got a lot of position. I think Raymond was all alone in front there, and the puck went to the other side and kind of hit my stick, and it just hit my pad, and it's just kind of scramble mode from there. And I think my blocker kind of got caught up on somebody's skate or stick, and I kind of just saw the puck kind of sitting there and just grabbed it and tried to get it out of there as quick as I could to avoid injury there.
What stood out to you about the way John Tavares just goes about his business day-to-day?
Just his professional approach to the game. I mean, he takes care of his body like no other, and his commitment to play up and down the ice is definitely something that we definitely appreciate. I know I do, and I'm happy for him that he's able to pot some goals here because he's an offensive player, but I also think at the end of the day his defensive prowess is kind of underestimated.
How do you describe your own play, your own feel the last few games?
Just kind of in a groove. I'm kind of just letting the play come to me, trying not to get too scrambly. Like I said, they were moving the puck quite well tonight, and the guys did a good job boxing out and kind of letting me recover and make some saves. I know there was a couple plays where I was sliding across on my knees. So for me, I'm just kind of trying to sit back, relax, let the play come to me, and just trying to make the first save and control the rebound from there.
When you grab the puck in your hand there, what was the ref saying to you after that whole play kind of?
I kind of just asked him what the rule is, just in terms of would he be able to blow it, and obviously there's an imminent scoring chance, so he said no, and I think that's kind of why there was no other way for me to get the puck, but he kind of just told me if the puck went to the corner that he would have blown it dead, so I appreciate him kind of just giving me an explanation, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Anthony Stolarz post game, he made that great pad save on Berggren late in the third period. But I like what he said there. I mean, the Leafs really did a nice job of keeping Detroit to the outside, didn't they?
100%. And I'm looking at some of the stats here. You're looking at McCabe with 24 minutes and Tanev 22 minutes, blocking shots, being a shot machine. So when you have those guys that are out there that clear the front of the net but just play that safe, composed game, it's just so easy as a goaltender knowing that all I have to do is worry about playing outside my crease, making that first save, knowing that there's not going to be that second, third, fourth opportunity. So just think about that going past, looking back at the last 3-4 games. There hasn't been that many second and third opportunities. And the goal that beat him on the power play there, that was a perfect pot shot there, and it just seems you have to make a perfect save. And I was playing in a charity event today, and they had a goalie that was 6'5", and it reminded me of Stolarz, where I had to make that perfect shot. I obviously didn't score because I'm a little bit over the hill there, but
no perfect shot from Stu.
Not anymore. I don't have the right flex. I'm a little heavy. I need the 135 to match my weight, but it's just exuding that confidence, and they're feeding off each other. The D are feeding off the goaltending's feeding off the D.
Yeah.
Just a perfect match, and again, it's you have to almost have the perfect play to get it past Stolarz.
They're doing a lot of things to support each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and I could talk. You can hear it from up here in the press box too. Just the communication, saying, "Hey, there's one man on, or rim, or chip." So again, they're very proactive in their breakouts and their structure down there, as opposed to reactive. And we've seen that in years past, or games where they struggled, where they're just reacting to everything. The puck's going to the point, and now guys are scrambling, and there's a backdoor play. They just seem almost moving in unison throughout the D zone, and from up here, it just looks like a perfect box or perfect structure, and they get out just so quickly. And I think that's the one thing that you don't see on the television, just sort of the guys working without the puck to get open. And Tanev and McCabe, they're just making perfect breakout passes. OEL's playing heavy as well, too. So this mixture and formula on defense so far, a quarter way through the season, has just been, I hate to say perfect, but it's been perfect for the Maple Leafs.
So when you're on a team that has that, I mean, that's got to make life a lot easier than when you're on a team that doesn't have that.
It does, and sometimes you take advantage of it and cheat, but you have the perfect coach that says you cannot cheat because I'm going to yell at you when you come off the ice and hold you accountable, too. So that's the main thing, the accountability, where they're not taking advantage of the structure, right? They're not blowing the zone, knowing that Tanev can come and make that perfect pass. They're waiting, they're anticipating, they're playing the game the right way. And when now it's a team system, it's not just the D, it's everybody together playing that defensive-minded structure. It's fun to watch, and you get a lot more easy wins, and you need that in the 2-game season.
Post-game comments brought to you by Honda. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. So we talked about all the power play goals that are happening this week. None on the 5-on-5. So here's Mitch Marner on what the team is doing 5-on-5.
Obviously some massive saves from Stolarz and Wooler when both have been in the net. Just 5 guys being connected in the zone. I think we've done a good job of closing down the slot. We've played some teams that are really dangerous that make a lot of great plays from below the goal line to the middle of that ice, and we've done a good job of shutting it down. And when it gets up top, we've done a good job as wingers and D and centers really to getting lanes.
What was it like to see Anthony make that barehanded save there at the end?
Yeah, it was great. I didn't know where the puck was. It was kind of just a bit of a dog pile in there, and it was nice to see him come out with the puck in his hand and still all 5 fingers.
For you, what was it like to take the opening face-off with the Hall of Famers there?
Yeah, I said it to Mark. It was incredible. I mean, a lot of guys there that I grew up watching. Got to play against one of them. It's a pretty scary gentleman out there that obviously hurt you with a lot of things, but. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to be a part of that. Saying, hopefully you can try to get a stick off datsyuk, this weekend. But it was really cool to be a part of, something that I'll cherish for a long time, and really cool kind of opportunity for myself.
What's it to the way John's approached the season? Obviously a different off season, not so much the focus, but he's just still coming every day and just doing his work.
Yeah, I mean, John's John. He's a hell of a competitor. He's a hell of a teammate. You're grateful for him every day. He comes in and works extremely hard, and works on the small little things that a lot of you guys don't really see. So it's extremely hard working in the gym, on the ice, and you see it every day, and you see the results of it.
7-game point streak for you. Where are you feeling? How are you feeling about your game the last little while?
Yeah, good. Just trying to be responsible both sides of the puck, and when I get the puck in my hands, just try to make responsible plays and try to just do what I do out there. And I've had some guys, obviously put some in the net, and I've been rewarded myself a couple times. So just try to keep moving, keep trying to be a threat out there, and play the right way.
Maybe confident now?
Yeah, I mean, another lucky bouncer kind of get it to John, but it's just got to keep the puck moving. We're getting pucks around that net, and we're getting rewarded for it right now.
Did you lobby to take the ceremonial face-off, Mitch? Like, how did
what, sorry?
Did you have to lobby to get the ceremonial face-off? How did you come together?
Yeah, no, I just got a text in the morning saying I was doing it. So, it was, like I said, a really cool moment, and something I'll cherish.
Maybe in past years we don't see the fourth line out late, protecting your fourth line has been very effective in that way, do you think?
I mean, yeah, everyone's been great. All 4 lines have been really, really trustworthy. Playing in the O zone, especially our third line, and I think they did a great job in that third of controlling the play, controlling puck down low, not turning it over, being responsible with it with F3 as well, and fourth line same way. They're being above people, they're using their speed well, and they're putting pucks in good areas and getting it back. So it's been a lot of fun to watch, and that's what we want from your team.
Mitch Marner, postgame. Leafs win at 3-1 over Detroit. This is Leafs Game Night, TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Every fantasy football champion makes one defining move.
Brock Bowers is going to be the #1 receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. And if you have him, congratulations.
Touchdown Raiders!
Fantasy Sports Radio can help you make that move.
It's really important to pay attention to the drops when waivers run. You're going to see some decent players drop, so make sure you always look at the drop list.
Listen to the best analysts for lineup advice, trade questions, and roster moves. Make your move with Fantasy Sports Radio, Sirius XM 87, and the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does, Doughty does, Stone does. And if you don't have enough of those players, get rid of them, because they'll make you lose. They'll frustrate the fan base. I want people that are with me, rowing in the same direction. And if you can't, get out of town. We'll find someone who can.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Bray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs game night live from Scotiabank Arena, 3-1. Maple Leafs win over Detroit and get Montreal here tomorrow night, and then Ottawa here on Tuesdays. They sort of trek through most of their division, and I want to proclaim, I don't know if I should do this. You know, you had Ralphie with the parade. I'm going to proclaim the self-inflicted wound is now on life support.
What do you mean?
The Leafs aren't hurting themselves.
Oh. But that, again, and that's, you know, in a normal season, I'd be like, I know exactly what you're talking about, Tats. Yeah. But, again, we talk about a lot more positives than negatives. And, again, there's been ups and downs in the seasons, and I've seen a little bit of fatigue throughout the season. But when this team is playing that structure, that composure, that quote-unquote safe game, that boring style of hockey, and there's been teams that had long runs in going towards the Stanley Cup. They play boring hockey at sometimes. Yeah. You've seen the success the Islanders had over the years, and we talked about Florida Panthers with Ralphie last segment, talking about how they went from the highest scoring team to not scoring to now winning a Stanley Cup. So it's all part of the process, and trust me, this team has too much talent just to be stagnant offensively. They're going to find a way to thrive throughout the system while being defensively responsible.
Coach's comments brought to you by Honda. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Craig Berube on the Stolarz barehanded save.
Yeah, I don't know how you lost this, Bob, but you had another good one for us.
From a coaching perspective, was that about as good as it gets? Low event, 5-on-5, capitalizing?
Yeah, I mean, defensively for us, I thought we were pretty sound. You know, we did a good job. We didn't generate a lot offensively tonight. Not a lot of clean plays. You know, I thought that we grinded good in the offensive zone, had some real good, O-zone shifts where we had the puck and we're competing and hanging on to pucks, but just didn't get a lot of clean looks tonight. And you're going to have games like that, so it was great by the guys just hanging in there and not opening it up, not exposing anything, just keep playing.
Bobby, your third line tonight, what did you think of them? Bobby,
I thought they were excellent. Yeah. I mean, the first goal, he touched the goalie's head, I think, a little bit. But that line was really good. I thought they, got to the offensive zone a lot, skated well, competed on pucks, looked to get it to the net. They did a good job.
What do you like about how your power play has adapted and adjusted with Austin out of the lineup? There was facing pressure to produce, and they've got it going.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's like we talked about, it's simplified, and they're attacking more downhill and getting pucks to the net area and getting rewarded for it right now, which is good to see. Yeah, they've done a good job.
What have you seen from John? Obviously, he's a captain of this team. You know, there was a transition this summer. Those guys could sulk. What have you seen from him in front of the cameras, behind the scenes?
John Tavares, he's just being himself. He's playing hockey, you know. I mean, the captaincy thing, you know, I thought he accepted it really well, and you know, in his mind, thought it was the right thing to do, and you know, he's just playing. He's playing really well for us. You know, he's just so good in tight areas with the puck. He's so good at that, strong on the puck, and does all those little things right, and he's getting rewarded for it right now. And like I said, he's played really well for us.
So he picked up the puck there on the empty netter, an example of that? Maybe?
Yeah, example of that. So yeah, he's been really good. Been very happy with him.
Craig Berube, postgame. Quick thoughts here, Stu. You know, we can talk about individual players, but it's units that are playing together, isn't it?
A great game, and most of the team was over 10 minutes, and we saw the Reeves line go out there. They were noticeable as well, too, but I think this was the best line. The third lines played. I've noticed them the most. They carried the mail, I think, for those first couple periods as well, and they're going to start getting rewarded. Nick Robertson, you know, he's my unsung hero for the night as well, with McMahon. Speed, tenacity, urgency. They played downhill, as Berube said, and you can see he was very complimentary of their game.
Stu, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Always great working with the Tap Man.
That's a cut line if I ever heard one. This is Leafs Game Night at TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Got fear, failure. The best have that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to internalize those feelings, but you can't let them paralyze you. And it's for me, going into a Game 7, I allowed myself to visualize what if we didn't win, leading up to the game, and then slowly as you get closer to the game, you allow yourself to kind of push the negative feelings aside, and you start to fill yourself up with all the great things that are going to happen and what you need to do to execute the game plan, and of course ultimately to seeing yourself holding the trophy. And then as a game starts, all the negative and the positive go away, and then you drill yourself down into just executing the game plan, and you don't think about the what ifs and what should have been or what could have been. You just really kind of play in the moment, and I think trust becomes a massive word when you think about it. Can I trust each one of the players that are going out there to not only to do their part from a strategic standpoint, be in the right position, be in the right places at the right time, but not get undisciplined and take poor penalties at the wrong time because their ego is bruised and someone took advantage of them, and being able to hold all that in check. So there's just so many dynamics to think about for a team in order to overcome all the obstacles to win a championship. And it's fascinating to me. It's one of the reasons I was able to play 26 years, because once you do it, you understand how fun it is, but also how complicated and intricate it is to kind of get not only the team from a physical standpoint to come together, but how a team comes together emotionally, mentally, and the spirituality around a team, and the respect that lives inside that locker room is incredible.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Friday, November the 8th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Detroit Red Wings. Maple Leafs on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 946. Red Wings on Internet 929. 7:30 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Capitals on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 950. Penguins on Internet 941. 10 p.m., Anaheim Ducks face the Minnesota Wild. Ducks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 920. Wild on Internet 933. 10 p.m., Seattle Kraken take on the Vegas Golden Knights. Kraken on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 943. Knights on Internet 949. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Friday, November the 8th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Detroit Red Wings. Maple Leafs on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 946. Red Wings on Internet 929. 7:30 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Capitals on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 950. Penguins on Internet 941. 10 p.m., Anaheim Ducks face the Minnesota Wild. Ducks on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 920. Wild on Internet 933. 10 p.m., Seattle Kraken take on the Vegas Golden Knights. Kraken on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 943. Knights on Internet 949. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Friday, November the 8th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Mark Messier is a 6-time Stanley Cup champion. He won 5 with the Edmonton Oilers and 1 with the New York Rangers, and is the only player to captain 2 teams to Stanley Cup championships. In Edmonton, after winning back-to-back Stanley Cup championships in 1984 and 85, it wasn't until 1987 where the team would win their 3rd Stanley Cup championship. Speaking on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Messier joined Scott Laughlin for the morning skate on Sirius XM Channel 91 to talk about what it was like to win that 1987 Stanley Cup Finals series against the Philadelphia Flyers, despite blowing a 3-1 series lead and having to win it in a Game 7.
Mark, let's go back to the 1987 Canada, or not Canada Cup. That was still to come.
That was
but the 1987, that wasn't Game 7, but that was an all-decider as well, as we know. But for Game 7, yeah, that was pretty good stuff. But 87 in the Stanley Cup final, you're facing Philadelphia. You're up 3-1 in the series. They come back to tie it. Now you've got Game 7. Take us back to your greatest remembrances of, again, almost letting the series slip away and then having that opportunity in Game 7 to come up big, which you guys clearly did.
Well, it just goes to show you that we felt back in 87, we were really at the peak of that team in some ways. Some people think 85 team was the best team ever. 87, I think, was probably the most talented team. I think 85 team had a better overall record. I think it was 16-1 or 16-2 in that playoff year, 87. We got tangled up against Philadelphia, but we felt we're a better team. But sports isn't about who's a better team. It's about it's about the belief system inside the dressing room. And Philadelphia wouldn't quit. Mike Keenan wouldn't allow the young Philadelphia team to quit. They were kind of banged up. They had some injuries, but they were able to extend the series after what we thought probably should have been maybe at least 4 or 5 game series. We lost, I think, the first game, if I remember correctly, and then came back and won 3 in a row, coming home to win the 5th game, only to realize that winning a championship, even after all the experience we had, is not that easy. And then going back to Philadelphia for Game 6, and they trounced us in Philly. Now we find ourselves in a Game 7, and then once you get to a Game 7, anything can happen. You can get a bad break, an unlucky bounce, as we've seen in the past, and so everything's at stake, everything's on the line, and I think luckily for us, we're able to, really kind of rely on our experiences that we had in the past. We felt incredibly confident that if we went out and played our best game and Philadelphia went out and played their best game, our best was going to be good enough. But